Number 34, Rich Garces. Number 36, Tom Gordon. Number 41, Jim Corsi. Number 43, the 1992 American League MVP and Cy Young Award winner, Dennis Eckersley. Number 45, the 1997 National League Cy Young Award winner, Pedro Martinez. Number 46, John Wasden. Number 49, Tim Wakefield. And the 1998 Red Sox coaches and trainers, number 12, third base coach, Wendell Kim. Number 14, hitting instructor, 1978 MVP and future Hall of Famer, Jim Rice. Number 16, pitching coach, Joe Kerrigan. Number 35, bench coach, Grady Little. Number 38, bullpen coach, Dick Pohl. Number 48, first base coach, Dave Joust. Number 60, bullpen catcher, Dana Lavangi. Major League Baseball staff assistant, Bill Maloney. Red Sox equipment manager, Joe Cochran. Visiting clubhouse manager, Tom McLaughlin. Physical therapist, Rich Zawacki. Trainer, Jim Rowe. And strength and conditioning coordinator, B.J. Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the colors this afternoon are the Lowell High School Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps and the Lynn English High School Marine Corps Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. And ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand as we honor America with our national anthem being performed by Lynn Saberhagen of Babylon, New York.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, can prove through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
capacity crowd standing here at Fenway Park. Lynn Saberhagen, the wife of Red Sox starter Brett Saberhagen, with a big smile as he heads off to the dugout. In case you're wondering, Lynn Saberhagen is a professional singer, so this is not just an honorary thing. This was a big thing.
Well, job well done by Saberhagen, and the introductions were interesting, Doug. It was kind of a mixed bag, I think, for Mo Vaughn. There was kind of a battle going on between who was going to win, the people cheering or booing, and big ovations for Dennis Eckersley and Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, I thought that it was, for the most part, a positive response for Mo Vaughn. There were some boos, but of course everybody was kind of looking at that as a storyline coming into today's introductions for the opener. But I thought it was primarily a positive response for Vaughn, but no question that it seemed to be a more enthusiastic response for both Dennis Eckersley and Pedro Martinez during the introductions.
Certainly the fans happy to have Eckersley back, and always happy to have a Cy Young Award winner for the National League join your ball club, and he has been outstanding so far this season.
Secretary of Defense William Cohen, native of Maine, who's accompanied by his wife Janet Langhart Cohen, of course familiar to television viewers in New England. The Secretary of Defense to throw out the first pitch. Tell you what, he hummed that one in there pretty good.
And it was a strike. He did a lot of warming up before that first pitch. He was playing catch with Wendell Kim.
Well, hey, pitching and defense is the key, right? So why not the Secretary of Defense for your opener? We're going to take a break. We're just moments away from today's first pitch here at Fenway Park. It's the home opener between the Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. We'll have the starting lineups for you and the start of today's ball game right after this break on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Red Sox baseball coming up. Today's starting pitchers on the mound, Brian Rose for the Boston Red Sox, and they are brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Rose against Randy Johnson is the matchup. Rose, of course, won 17 games in AAA last year, was the International League Most Valuable Pitcher of the Year. Randy Johnson, second and only to Roger DeClemens in wins and strikeouts. Good matchup with Brian Rose and Randy Johnson. First pitch coming your way right after this.
68 Sports presents Boston Red Sox Baseball. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Something fresh is always brewing here. By Mazda. Get in, be moved. And by the University of Massachusetts.
Who goes to the University of Massachusetts?
I fell in love with the campus immediately upon seeing it.
I am a better astronaut because of what I learned at UMass.
When you measure the quality of the education, it's a no-brainer where you're going to go to school.
It's one of the state's great jewels.
And it was a great learning experience. It really was. Would I go there again in a heartbeat?
The University of Massachusetts. Get the idea?
I'm proud to be president of the university. Let us be part of your success story.
Connecting with the wrong internet provider can leave even the most experienced net user frustrated and abandoned. Now there's a better way. BellAtlantic.net, with access to Big Yellow, your Yellow pages on the web, and a helpful staff to guide you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bell Atlantic can open doors to the internet you never knew existed. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
Check out the easiest way to purchase Red Sox tickets through the new Touchstone ticketing system by dialing 617-482-4SOX. This friendly system provides fans with the fastest, safest, and most convenient way to purchase Red Sox tickets. It gives you access to the game's oldest and most traditional ballpark through cutting-edge technology. Touchstone ticketing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any Touchstone phone. Credit cards only.
Back for our first look of the season at Fenway Park. Field looks in great shape. Be talking more about that actually later on, because part of the field is new this year here at Fenway. But it will be filled to capacity as always for the start of the 1998 home season here at Fenway Park. Should be an interesting pitching matchup today. Brian Rose making his second start of the season, just his third major league start. And the Seattle Mariners will be looking to Randy Johnson, who has been roughed up in his first 2 starts of the season, looking to try and turn that around. As the Red Sox take the field, today's starting lineups are brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. For the visiting Seattle Mariners, Joey Cora leading off and playing second base. Alex Rodriguez, the shortstop, bats second. Junior Griffey playing center and batting in the customary number 3 spot. Edgar Martinez is off to a slow start this year for Seattle. The DH batting 4th. David Segui, who's off to a great start, hitting 5th, playing first base. Likewise, Glenn Allen Hill off to a fine start. The left fielder batting 6th. The catcher is Dan Wilson batting 7th. Russ Davis plays 3rd for the Mariners, batting 8th. And Robert Perez, recently over from the Blue Jays, takes right field, replacing Jay Buhner, who has a bit of a knee problem. He's missed several games this week. So Perez in the number 9 spot and playing right field for the Mariners today. And they will hit against the 22-year-old New England native rookie Brian Rose.
Rose's last outing in his first of the season was against these same Seattle Mariners. He only lasted 2 innings in that ball game, allowing 6 hits and 6 earned runs. He walked 1, struck out 1. Couple of home runs, 1 to Griffey, 1 to Glenn Allen Hill. And of course the Red Sox lost that game 12-6. A couple of difficult assignments, obviously opening up against Seattle and then facing them again here in the home opener of Fenway.
Well, Brian Rose obviously hoping for better things than he had in his first 2 major league starts, the one out in Seattle earlier this season, then of course the one against the Angels here in July last summer. A look at the Red Sox defense brought to you by Toyota. As we set it up for you for the home opener, Red Sox have struggled a little bit defensively here in the early going, making 9 errors in their first 8 ball games. It'll be Bragg, Buford, and Lewis left to right in the outfield. Bragg in there for Troy O'Leary. John Valentin at third, Nomar Garciaparra at second, Mark Lemke making his Red Sox debut at second, Mo Vaughn at first, Jason Varitek behind the plate, and the rookie Brian Rose on the mound. By the way, even though Troy O'Leary is not in the starting lineup, he is here, and there's another baby to announce in the Red Sox family. As you look at today's umpires, Tim Cheetah working behind the plate, John Shulock at first, Don Denkinger at second, and Rick Reed over at third. Troy and his wife Annette O'Leary, the baby boy, I beg your pardon, Trey. Brian Rose's first pitch at Fenway Park this season is a called strike to Joey Cora. Tough to keep up with all the social news on this Red Sox team. First the Wasdens, now the O'Learys. Fouled away out of play, 0-2 to Cora.
Well, we saw it. Another young pitcher, Derek Lowe, struggle in his first outing against the Seattle Mariners, but last time out was much more relaxed and had a terrific game against the Anaheim Angels. We'll see today if Rose is a little bit more relaxed than in that first outing against Seattle.
Joey Cora in a hole 0-2 against Rose to lead it off. Sprays it toward left field. Bragg has got it tracked, and there's the first out.
Seattle Mariners actually playing their first game outside this season. They have been at the Kingdome for that first homestand, and they're playing their very first ball game in these cool conditions this afternoon at Fenway.
Yeah, this starts a 10-game road trip for the Mariners, for Lou Piniella and his club. They'll play 3 here in Fenway, then 3 at Jacobs Field in Cleveland, and they'll wrap up this trip with 4 games in Minnesota against the Twins. And likewise, this starts a 10-game homestand for the Red Sox here at Fenway Park. First pitch to Alex Rodriguez is a little bit low for a ball. Right in for a strike, 1-1 on Alex Rodriguez. And Rose works a little bit low and away, 2-1. Brian Rose, by the way, at 22 years old, becomes the first rookie to pitch a home opener at Fenway Park for the Red Sox since Jim Bagby Jr. in 1938. Goes to 3-1 on Rodriguez, and Rose is the first native New Englander ever to pitch the home opener at Fenway.
Because both newspapers this morning loaded with stories on Brian Rose and his hometown of South Dartmouth.
Rodriguez lifts it toward right, and Damon Buford. The wind pushing it a little bit. The wind has changed directions a couple of times here prior to the start of today's ball game. Earlier, a couple of hours ago, it was blowing almost straight in. And now it's blowing a little bit more from left over toward right, where Damon Buford made that play.
Yeah, the ball should take off pretty good out toward right field this afternoon, but it's going to take a pretty good shot in left field and also in center. And you can see that new background right there. That's the good hitter's background. They've covered the seats in center field for a long time. Very dangerous here at Fenway Park, but they've made that adjustment now for day games.
Make it Darren Lewis in right field, not Buford. Buford's over in center today. Red Sox have made several changes in the outfield alignment here early in the season so far. Ken Griffey Jr. now with 2 outs and nobody on. Rose had a very solid first inning at the Kingdome in his last start, and he had a very solid first inning here last July against the Angels. It was the second inning on that caused him problems. Only worked 3 innings in that game last summer, his first major league start, and then just 2 innings in Seattle last week. Griffey takes. Close pitch. 3-0 the count on Griffey.
Well, I guess Cheetah figures if Griffey doesn't swing at the pitch, it's going to be a ball.
And ball 4. So Griffey walks on 4 pitches, and he is the first Seattle base runner. The Mariners are first in the American League in walks coming into today. That is their 40th walk of the season in just their 9th game. They're also first in home runs, by the way, by a wide margin. The Mariners have hit 20 home runs in their first 8 ball games. Here's Edgar Martinez. Edgar off to a slow start to his 1998 season, as you can see from those numbers. He was the DH of the year last year. The 0-1 is outside. 1-1 now to Martinez.
Last weekend in Seattle, it was unusual to see Martinez struggling here at the beginning of the season. It won't take him long to get going, and once he does, he'll probably be the DH of the year again.
Griffey with the lead off first, and Martinez goes toward right center field. The long run, and a terrific catch by Damon Buford. That ends the first. That's what happens when you're going badly, right? Edgar Martinez just can't buy a hit. Terrific play by Damon Buford brings the crowd to its feet in the first inning. Red Sox coming up at Fenway on the home opener. Seattle, no score in the top half on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Where's the game? Where's the game? ¿Quién está ganando? Dime algo. What's the score?
Don't go there, Tyrell.
What's the score, man?
Not Tyrell.
What's the score?
Tyrell should have bounced outside to the 6 or cut back to the 2.
Yeah, man, but what's the score?
Have I ever told you the secret of football?
Many times.
You see, football is 15% physical and 85% mental. Now, your opponent may be bigger and faster, but if you're bigger and faster here, you will defeat him.
So what's the score?
There's only one important piece of information in the world, the one you want. And getting the information you want is simple with Seagate hardware and software. Seagate, information the way you want it.
Damon Buford bringing this Fenway crowd to his feet with a spectacular catch in center field. This ball slicing away from him, plus getting pushed by the wind. He'll make the diving catch, and somehow, when he hits the ground, he's able to keep that ball in his glove. Terrific play. The outfield defense for the Red Sox so far this season has been excellent.
Yeah, the errors have come from the infield primarily. Let's check the Red Sox starting lineup now for this afternoon's home opener. Nomar Garciaparra at short. John Valentin batting second, playing third base. First baseman is Mo Vaughn. Jim Leyritz, the DH. Jason Varitek catching. Damon Buford with that great catch in center. Mark Lemke at second, making his Red Sox debut. Darren Bragg in left, and Darren Lewis over in right field. And Randy Johnson on the mound for the Mariners. Going low and away to Nomar Garciaparra.
Couple of starts so far for Randy Johnson. A no decision against Cleveland on opening night, and last week the Red Sox beat him at the Kingdome. High numbers, especially the hits and runs against Johnson, but he also still has those high strikeout numbers.
First time in 5 years, Jerry, that Randy Johnson has given up 5 or more runs in back-to-back starts. In for a strike, 2-1 to Garciaparra.
It's going to be interesting, Doug, to see how Johnson works against the Red Sox today. He got beat at that game in the Kingdome by the breaking ball. Every run that scored for the Red Sox on a hit was on a breaking ball.
Brings the fastball in for strike 2. And a swing at a bad pitch way outside, and Garciaparra strikes himself out.
Well, that pitch was actually supposed to go inside where Wilson was set up, but the ball just sailed away, and Garciaparra can't lay off it.
Checking the defense now. Well, that's the Red Sox defense. The Mariners are now out in the field, and there they are. Glenn Allen Hill, Ken Griffey Jr., Robert Perez left to right. Russ Davis at third, Alex Rodriguez at short, Joey Cora at second, and David Segui at first. Dan Wilson behind the plate, and Johnson on the mound, now working to John Valentin for a called strike. After the game in Seattle last week, Jerry, a lot of the writers were asking all the Red Sox hitters if Johnson had lost anything. Of course, he had 2 bad starts in a row. Most of the guys saying, no, he can still throw it pretty well.
Even if you did think that he had lost something, you wouldn't say it because you know you're going to face him again in a week.
That's right. 56 degrees at game time here at Fenway. Valentin fouls it away. 0-2 to John. 56 degrees on April 10th. With bright sunshine is about as much as you could ask for.
Actually, walking around on the field prior to the game was very comfortable on the playing field.
Johnson to work 0-2 to John Valentin. To left field and pretty deep. Hill back to the wall, and it is about halfway up off the wall. And John Valentin will start his Fenway season with a stand-up double.
Well, you might remember a year ago, Valentin had a couple of home runs off Randy Johnson here at Fenway in that opening day ball game, and this ball might have been close to a home run had the wind not been going across from left to right. Valentin, the last 2 games, is really starting to swing the bat. He swung it very well that last game in Anaheim, and now starts off with a double here today.
And now many in this big crowd at Fenway Park coming to their feet to salute Mo Vaughn for his first at-bat of the season. In front of the home crowd. Takes inside.
Well, Doug, it was a mixed bag when they introduced the lineups, but that certainly was a standing ovation for Vaughn.
What a great start he has had, following up on his terrific spring. 364 in the first 8 games of the regular season. Valentin at second with 1 out in the bottom of the first. And up a little bit again, 2-0 to Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn is the best hitter in the Red Sox lineup today against Randy Johnson. A .381 average against Randy with a couple of home runs. He loves the challenge, and Coach Johnson loves the challenge of throwing a Mo.
Swing and a miss. 2-1 now on Vaughn.
Nothing fancy about this. Old #1 from Randy Johnson. power against power.
Somewhere in the mid-90s. He's up around 97, 98 last week in Seattle. And 2-2 now. Same pitch, a little bit more out over the plate that time, it appeared.
Yeah, I noticed so far not a breaking ball yet from Johnson.
Only 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup today for the Red Sox. Darren Bragg the other. Inside, and did it hit the shirt? Yes, it did. Mo trying to jackknife out of the way, and it grazed the uniform, so Johnson comes in a little bit too much on Vaughn, and 2 runners on now with 1 out.
Well, this has been very popular so far this season, just getting a piece of the uniform. Tough to tell on that replay whether it did or did not get some of Mo Vaughn.
Well, I guess that's somehow the cosmic payback for what happened in Anaheim the other night, right?
Tim Salmon, that's right. He talked the umpire right into it.
First and second with 1 out, and Jim Leyritz, the designated hitter. Swings through a fastball.
Now here's where the Red Sox have to start getting some production. They're going to face 3 left-handers over the weekend against Seattle. And after the top 3 guys in the lineup, the rest of the group has struggled.
Nothing in 2 to Leyritz. Shaking his head. Well, it's been widely reported, especially because of the day off and getting ready for the home opener, Jerry. The Red Sox hitting just .233 as a team through their first 8 games. But if you take Vaughn and Garciaparra out of the mix, the team hitting just .204. And 3 swings for Jim Leyritz, and he'll head back to the dugout.
See Leyritz shaking his head after that last swing. Totally overmatched in that at bat by Randy Johnson. Kind of a half-hearted swing right here on the high fastball. It's like we're talking about that center field being covered up now for the hitter's background. It was always the most difficult in day games, and especially with a left-hander pitching. It looks like Leyritz might have had trouble seeing the ball. He's going to try sunglasses.
Well, the other big change here at Fenway for this season that you can see from this angle particularly is the different color of the skin part of the infield. That's because it's a brand new infield here at Fenway Park.
It's the first time since 1976 they've put in a new infield, and Joe Mooney, Casey Irvin doing a great job getting this thing ready for opening day.
The park looks terrific. Of course, everybody remembers last year the April Fool's blizzard we had and how tough it was to get the field to recover from that. Really for quite some time, but the field looks terrific today. A called strike to Jason Varitek, 1-1. Varitek, of course, the switch hitter, batting right-handed against Johnson, and watches high and outside, 2-1.
Last start that Varitek made had 4 strikeouts against Chuck Finley and the Angels.
And this is his very first at bat against Randy Johnson. And patient. Again missing by just a little, and it's 3-1 now to Varitek. Damon Buford waiting on deck. Swinging through the fastball upstairs, 3-2. Make it 1 for 3 for Varitek against Randy Johnson. And the 3-2 is a swinging strike 3. So Johnson gives up the double to Valentin, hits Mo Vaughn, but strikes out the side in the first. No score after 1 here at Fenway Park. Mariners and Sox on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
In the next century, there'll be 50% more passengers at Logan Airport. so major construction is underway. The first improvement is a new garage with thousands of parking spots all under one roof. And for convenience, enclosed moving walkways will connect it to terminals A and E, opening this summer.
Oh, excuse me, I believe you got my router.
Oh, my apologies.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh, here's mine.
Logan Modernization. Work in progress.
Hello, I'm Norman Schwarzkopf. What did you do the last time you attended a sports event, a university commencement, or other gathering where our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, was played? Were you standing straight and proud? Did you face the American flag with your right hand placed over your heart? If you were wearing a hat or cap, did you take it off and hold it over your heart? In a less than perfect world, observing a code of conduct throughout the playing of our national anthem may seem to some unnecessary. Yet to many others, the Star-Spangled Banner remains a moving reminder of individuals who thought enough of future generations like you and me to offer everything they had. In light of their personal sacrifice for our freedom, shouldn't we respectfully demonstrate by our actions that it's an honor to honor our flag?
No score at Fenway Park, heading to the top of the second, and this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox and WABU TV Channel 68, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox and WABU TV. Doug Brown along with Jerry Remy. Our producer today is Tom Tedisco. John Wilson directing Red Sox baseball for the opener today. And moving to the top of the second, David Segui leading off for the Mariners. And here's a guy who's off to a tremendous start.
Well, they've added two players in this lineup that have both off the great start. Segui and the next hitter, Glenn Allen Hill.
Takes a ball from Brian Rose. There's Glenn Allen Hill waiting his first chance. Segui has hit in every game for the Mariners to start the season, an 8-game hitting streak. Takes a breaking pitch, 1-1.
Rose is limping right now. I don't know if he twisted an ankle making that last pitch. Look, he turned the ankle over in his follow-through.
Got the called strike, and now a whole team of folks out of the Red Sox dugout to check on the young right-hander.
You know, sometime the landing areas for pitches obviously are different, and Randy Johnson's would be different than Brian Rose. And it looked like after Rose landed, after making that last pitch, he just turned the ankle over.
That seems to be what they're talking about too, Jerry, is that landing area. Of course, Johnson at 6'10" would have that big stride coming off the rubber. Rose is going to take a few warm-ups. The count is 1-1 to David Segui. And Rose throws one pitch and says, I'm okay. Let's look at it again.
Watch that front leg, front foot as it lands, and looks like he just turns it right over. And you can see him just buckle.
Segui taking, now 2-1. We showed you that Segui has 4 home runs already. He actually would have had a 5th one on Wednesday night against the Yankees, but a long drive toward right center field hit off one of the speakers, wound up bouncing in short center field, and he got a triple out of it.
One thing Joe Kerrigan and Jimmy Williams will watch closely now is Rose changing his pitching style, his mechanics, because of the injury, and they have to be very careful with that.
The 3-1 to Segui. Fouled away.
If that happens, sometimes that puts more strain on the arm, and you end up with an arm injury also.
Rose allowed just the 2-out walk in the first inning. Pitching to the first batter here in the second. And the 3-2 pitch strikes out Segui. First strikeout of the afternoon for Brian Rose.
Well, Rose had one strikeout in that last game against Seattle. Picks up his first this afternoon. This pitch tailing away. Fastball tailing away from Segui. And I think Segui feels like he may have got himself out in that at bat.
Something to just get David Segui out here in the '98 season. Glenn Allen Hill takes a first pitch strike. Hill not too shabby either, as Jerry mentioned, 444. He had a 7-game hitting streak end on Wednesday, the Mariners' last game. Quickly 0-2 on Hill with the breaking pitch.
Well, just like Derek Lowe in the last game, Rose seems to be much more relaxed and making better pitches here early in the game than he did a week ago.
The 0-2. Wasting one in the dirt. Glenn Allen Hill, who came over from San Francisco last year. Hit a home run against Rose last weekend in Seattle. Tapped on the ground toward Mark Lemke, who gets his first chance and the second out.
The Red Sox are going to have to do a better job pitching to Hill this weekend. Last weekend they left a lot of pitches inside, which is exactly where he likes it. That pitch by Rose away, and the ground ball of Mark Lemke making his Red Sox debut. Kind of hectic for Lemke, you know, coming up from Fort Myers, training pretty much by himself down there, introducing himself to all his new teammates today. Of course, he's knows his manager pretty well from the days in Atlanta.
Well, the Red Sox had gone with Donnie Sadler and Mike Benjamin at second base for the first 8 games, but they weren't getting an awful lot of offense out of the second base position. Jimmy Williams had said prior to the start of the season, Jerry, that he wasn't too much worried about that, but when you go through a series that the Red Sox just had where they only scored 3 runs in 3 games, you hope to get a little extra offensive production from wherever you can get it. The called strike to Dan Wilson, the Mariners catcher. 1-1 now the count to Dan. And another breaking pitch catches the corner. 1-2.
Certainly be helpful to Rose to be able to get through the first 2-3 innings of scoreless baseball, get his confidence level back up high. I'm sure it was knocked down a little bit last week in that rough outing against the Mariners.
Well, Brian Rose spent a lot of time looking at tapes of that start last weekend with pitching coach Joe Kerrigan, and right over the heart of the plate for called strike 3. We'll expand on that story a little bit later. 1-2-3 inning for Rose, including 2 strikeouts. No score after 1.5 at Fenway. And we'll be back after these words from your local sponsors on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times, and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
Helps preschoolers prepare to succeed one child at a time. Builds confidence, family involvement, and future teachers. Brings together college students and kids to learn and have fun. Getting involved and making a difference. That's what it's all about. To learn how you can become a volunteer for Jumpstart's Kids Fest and other programs, call 432-6763.
On the next 90210, Valerie's making her move.
You have something I want.
What is that?
The Peach Pit After Dark.
But can she have it all?
I want you back in my bed.
And if I don't, then I'm never gonna work here again, huh? Then a rapist is on the loose.
Hey, you okay?
No, I'm scared.
For everybody.
And Brandon feels the heat.
I'm the student body president. I am not Batman.
Go back to Beverly Hills 90210.
Tonight at 6 on WB 59.
Bagel.
No score at Fenway Park after an inning and a half. Red Sox about to take their swings in the bottom half of the second, and League Leaders is brought to you by Mazda. Experienced cars and trucks built with a passion for the road. Mazda. Talked about the Seattle Mariners home run production this year. They're picking right up where they left off last year, Jerry, leading the major leagues with a record 264 home runs, 25 better than the next closest team, the Colorado Rockies. Of course, the Mariners have hit 20 home runs in 8 games this season. If they keep that up all year, that'll be more than 400 for the year. First pitch to Damon Buford is down low from Randy Johnson. On the ground, but foul. And a nice play down there. Start the season cold.
Gentleman named Staff. I guess he has Staff written on his back. So. Made a fine play.
They get a lot of those jobs. Always good to get that first one out of the way, right? Breaking pitch outside to Buford, 1-1.
So we talked last inning, Doug, about how Randy Johnson got beat on his breaking ball when he had men in scoring position in that first inning. Nothing but fastballs.
And that one fouled away. 2-2 now on Damon Buford. And a called third strike. Make it 4 strikeouts now for Randy Johnson.
Now there's the breaking ball. Pitch by Johnson, down and in against those right-handers. Last week, everything seemed to stay out over the plate. Didn't have many like that. So if he has both pitches working for him this afternoon, that's trouble for Boston.
And Buford appeared fooled. Looked like he was expecting the number 1. Mark Lemke. His first at-bat for the Red Sox. Here's how he fared last year for the Braves before the injury that knocked him out. No swing. 2-0 the count on Lemke. Chopping one foul.
I think we're making a mistake if we say that Lemke is here to provide offense for the Red Sox. That's not the case. When Jeff Fry went down, they wanted somebody at second base that could feel that position solidly throughout the season. That's why they went to get Lemke. He's also the kind of guy in a lineup that'll stick the base hit in, keep an inning alive.
2-2 now on Mark.
But he's primarily a defensive second baseman.
Randy Johnson working 2-2. A little bit low this time. Full count on Lemke.
Now the hitters have to deal with a little bit of a shadow problem. Shadow's out in front of home plate. Not a serious problem yet.
Up in the air in the infield. Second baseman Joey Cora makes the play for the second out. They're talking about the offense from the second base position, Jerry. Donnie Sadler, of course, will now get a chance to work on his game both offensively and defensively down at Pawtucket with Lemke joining the Red Sox here. Sadler probably pressing a little bit offensively too. Again, no particular need for him to worry about the offense, but you know he's got to be at least thinking about that first major league hit, and he doesn't have it yet.
Well, he's got to go down to AAA and really get some confidence in his offense. You know, last year he hit about 212, struggled early this season. You can't make a judgment on a guy after maybe 10 or 15 at bats. That would be unfair.
Right.
But the fact is he needs to go have success at the AAA level.
Darren Bragg quickly down 0-2. That one just missing. Darren Bragg playing left field today. And strike 3. Randy Johnson has 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. The Red Sox go quickly in order, and after 2 at Fenway Park, no score between the Red Sox and the Mariners on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked
at your New England Ford dealer.
Are you paying too much for prescription drugs? For eyeglasses and eye exams? Too much for dental care for you and your family?
Now, there is something you can do about it. Get the card from Universal Benefit Systems. It can save you money every time you use it. The UBS card qualifies you and your family for discounts on prescriptions, eyeglasses, and dental care. And it's so easy to use. Just present your card when you pay and save up to 40% on prescriptions, up to 50% on eyeglasses and contact lenses, and save up to 30% on dental care. If your insurance lacks coverage, for just $5.95 a month, you and your family can enjoy discounts on prescriptions, glasses, and dental care. And you can't be turned down. Your UBS card is welcome at more than 50,000 pharmacies, vision care stores, and dentists across the country, including Walgreens, Pearl Vision, and many more. Just present your UBS card when you pay, and you get the discount immediately. The potential savings are unlimited, and there are no forms, qualifications, or physicals.
No score, Mariners, Red Sox. Randy Johnson striking out Darren Bragg and staring down Bragg after the strikeout. The story behind that is he's kind of kidding around because Bragg hit a home run off him. He's 1 for 1 in his career with a home run. And, of course, those guys ex-teammates. And, of course, that home run came when Randy Johnson had a bad back. And shortly after that, he went on a disabled list. So he's kind of having a little fun with Darren Bragg. I don't think Bragg found it funny, though, after the strikeout.
I don't think any of the Red Sox are finding these first 2 innings funny, Jerry. 5 strikeouts for Johnson already. On the ground sharply, Valentin gets a piece of it, but Russ Davis will take first. We'll see how they score it. Could go either way. Ball was hit very sharply.
Well, I think that probably will go as a base hit for Russ Davis. He's also had a great start. Hard ground ball to the backhand side of Valentin. Ball knocked down, but was far enough away from Valentin with his no play on Davis. That would be a tough error if he gets an error.
No decision yet from the official scorer.
Base hit.
First hit of the day for the Mariners. And batting ninth in the order, Robert Perez, the right fielder, and he pops up a bunt, and there's going to be an easy double play at first base as Veritek fires to Lemke covering. So the strategy backfires there for the M's.
Well, nice play by Veritek, quickly out from behind the plate. A lot of times that's a tough thing for a catcher to judge exactly where that bunt will go. Veritek able to make the play in the air, and then it's an easy double play at first base as Davis was heading towards second. Veritek's done a very nice job defensively behind the plate.
Nothing Russ Davis could do except keep his head down and go back to the dugout. Not his fault, though, clearly. Play again went 2-4, doubling off Davis at first. Joey Cora takes a strike, evening the count at 1-1. Cora flied to Bragg in left to lead off the ball game. Just missing the inside slice.
Well, to this stage in the game, and certainly early, Rose is not just throwing the ball this afternoon. He's pitching.
Joey Cora comes into this ball game with an 8-game hitting streak to start the year. Slaps that one down the left field line, but foul just into the grandstand.
And what I mean by that is Rose hitting the corners. He's moving the ball in and out, where the other start at Seattle, it was just pretty much everything right down the middle of the plate. He's pitching so far in this game this afternoon.
Once through the order for Rose with just 1 hit, the infield hit, and 1 walk. Now works 2-2 to Cora and hits him. On the breaking pitch, it got away. You're going to get hit. That's as good a spot as any to get hit.
Yes, for most of us, that's where a lot of the padding is, and certainly Joey Cora taking it in a good spot. Breaking ball, nowhere to go for Cora.
The shortstop, Alex Rodriguez.
Now That was the retaliation, Jerry, for Randy Johnson just clipping Mo Vaughn's jersey.
I'll get him with a breaking ball.
I wondered, after watching the Mariners hit 9 home runs against the Red Sox in those 3 games out in Seattle last weekend, as Alex Rodriguez swings through a breaking ball, if when Pedro Martinez takes his turn here tomorrow, that he might have that in the back of his mind. Just to, of course, Pedro works inside anyway, but the Mariners were swinging freely against Red Sox pitching last week. Rose just missing inside, 1-1.
Well, she got the 2 strikeout leaders going in back-to-back days. Randy Johnson started today with 17 strikeouts. Pedro leads the league with 20, and they're going to go pretty much back and forth, I think, all season long.
Rose chases Cora back to the bag. Rodriguez flied to right in his first appearance. This time lifting it toward the left side and shallow left center field, where Darren Bragg gives way to Damon Buford for the 3rd out. 2.5 complete at Fenway Park. No score between the Red Sox and the Mariners on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
This is cellular.
This cellular. This cellular.
This is OmniPoint.
This is OmniPoint. This is OmniPoint.
Introducing OmniPoint, a 100% digital system so advanced there's absolutely no static.
No static.
And so superior there's no contract.
No contract.
Polly, wanna...
Yeah!
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get a $129 Siemens digital PCS phone for $49.
The Boston Red Sox look to show the American League they mean business. With newly acquired Pedro Martinez, Dennis Eckersley, Darren Lewis, and Jim Leyritz, along with a solid core of returning players, including AL Rookie of the Year Nomar Garcia-Parra, there is great excitement about this team for 1998. Come be a part of the 1998 excitement. For tickets, call the Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700. For groups of 40 or more, call 617-262-1915.
Back at Fenway on opening day. Bottom of the 3rd inning. No score, Mariners and Red Sox. The 98 Red Sox is sure to be action-packed and exciting. Bring your group, company, or family to one of the many special discounted and fundraising games at Fenway this season. Call group sales at 617-262-1915.
Darren Lewis, and then the top of the order, Nomar Garcia-Parra and John Valentin for the Red Sox. And Lewis lays one down, but he didn't get much on it. And Wilson, a fine defensive catcher, makes the play down to first. Not a bad idea by Lewis, but he didn't get enough of it.
Yeah, it looked like the ball just stuck right in front of home plate. Dan Wilson, an excellent defensive catcher, bounces out and has a fairly routine play to make. He'll clear himself with a base runner and throw a strike to Segui. So bunting, a little bit tough for both teams this afternoon.
Nomar Garcia-Parra struck out his first time. Reaches to right field this time, but snagged by the first baseman, Segui. Nomar may be looking to put one down the right field line.
Well, Johnson had been pitching him away consistently, and at that time, Nomar slaps the line drive, but right at David Segui.
The third baseman, John.
2 pitches, 2 outs for Johnson here in the 3rd. Here's the man with the only Red Sox hit of the day to this point. John Valentin doubled about halfway up the wall over the scoreboard in the 1st. Guaranteed that he was going to take the first pitch after the 2 quick outs. And now 2-0. John Valentin accounting for the only Red Sox run Wednesday night, last game of the road trip in Anaheim, with a solo home run, his first of the year. Popped up, right field side. Segui battling the wind and stays with it. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Red Sox against Randy Johnson, and after 3 complete at Fenway, no score on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
The average car travels 12,000 miles a year. The average tires last 40,000 miles. The conclusion? Sooner or later, you're going to need a new set of wheels. Where do you go? I'm getting to that. A place with thousands of tires and the best brands rolling. People with diplomas in tireology and floors your grandmother could kiss. Oh, yeah, and they serve a great cup of joe. NTB, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
In the next century, there'll be 50% more passengers at Logan Airport. So major construction is underway. The first improvement is a new garage with thousands of parking spots all under one roof. And for convenience, enclosed moving walkways will connect it to terminals A and E, opening this summer.
Oh, excuse me. I believe you got my router.
Oh, my apologies.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh, here's mine.
Logan modernization. Work in progress.
Don't go there, Tyrell. No, Tyrell.
What's the score?
Tyrell should have bounced outside to the 6.
Yeah, man, but what's the score?
Have I ever told you the secret of football?
Many times.
Is 15% physical and 85% mental. If you're bigger and faster here, you will defeat him.
So what's the score?
There's only one important piece of information in the world, the one you want. Seagate hardware and software. Information the way you want it.
Back for the 4th inning here at Fenway Park. Doug Brown along with Jerry Remy. Glad to have you with us on opening day.
The center fielder.
Brian Rose and Randy Johnson hooked up in a good one here so far. Johnson with no strikeouts in that 3rd inning. First time that's happened today. But he has 5 to this point already. Brian Rose has 2, and he's ready for the 4th, and Ken Griffey Jr. to lead it off. Swinging on the first pitch down the right field side, but it'll carry well out of play. Griffey walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Griffey with those 3 home runs this season, by the way, is 3 away from 300 for his career. Takes a little bit high. A good April hitter is Ken Griffey Jr. 13 April home runs a year ago. So a little bit behind that pace so far this year.
Now, one thing that doesn't hurt Griffey, the fact that in April they get to play a lot of games at home in the Kingdom.
Towards center field, but right there on it is Damon Buford for the routine first out.
The fans around the world can now log on to www.redsox.com, the official website of the Boston Red Sox. This easy-to-navigate Red Sox homepage offers fans the ease of purchasing tickets online and is your first source of breaking news, history, and information on one of the greatest sports franchises in history. Red Sox baseball, what a game.
Edgar Martinez, who was victimized by a sparkling catch in right center field by Damon Buford back in the 1st inning. Edgar's got to be thinking, what do I have to do to get a base hit? Hit the ball right on the button. Looked like it was working toward the gap and away from Buford, but he managed to get over there and make the catch.
I'm sure Edgar will figure it out before long.
Breaking pitch just missing a little bit low. 2-1 to Martinez.
Well, that wind really starting to gust now out toward right field.
And at the same time gusting into our booth here a little bit. Fouled away by Martinez, off to our right. There's a look at it.
Wind coming down from Canada, right?
Yes, primarily from the north, the April wind.
Well, it's better than straight in toward home plate.
And it was blowing a little more straight in toward the plate a couple hours ago. 2-2 to Martinez, right up the middle for a base hit. So Edgar was robbed last time, but this time he keeps it on the ground where Buford can't catch it. Let's pause 10 seconds right now for station identification on the 68 Sports Television Network.
Number 21.
You're watching Red Sox baseball on WABU TV Channel 68 Boston, WNBU TV Channel 21 Concord, New Hampshire, and WZBU TV Channel 58 Vineyard Haven, Cape Cod.
No score at Fenway Park. Red Sox and Mariners playing the top of the fourth with one out. Doug Brown along with Jerry Remy. Sean McDonough on assignment this weekend. Sharp-eyed observers will know where.
16th hole, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was windy on that tower too yesterday, I'll bet. David Segui, who fanned his first time against Brian Rose today, taking a called strike to level the count at 1-1.
It looks like Rose learned a lesson by watching Saberhagen deal against the Seattle club in Seattle. Saberhagen pitched a lot of these hitters inside and then, of course, moved the ball around inside, outside, and that's the approach that Rose has taken today. He's made more inside pitches than he did in the 2 innings last time he faced him.
On the outside corner for called strike 2. Started to talk about this earlier too, Jerry, after the game and after looking at the tapes. Particularly, Brian Rose said that one thing he wanted to change today from his last outing against the Mariners is he didn't think he was throwing enough breaking pitches to right-handed hitters, and we've seen a number of those already.
Well, you saw that last pitch outside corner. When you throw inside, that should give you a little more space on that outside corner to make a pitch.
Edgar Martinez at first with one out. 2 hits for the Mariners, just 1 hit for the Red Sox to this point, as Rose and Johnson have been in command. The 1-2. Working Segui inside. Brian Rose, just 22 years old. Attended Dartmouth High School in southeastern Massachusetts. Little tapper foul. Suppose there are any informal or formal parties today down in your part of the state of Massachusetts honoring Brian Rose's Fenway opener start?
Oh, I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's a large group in attendance here today to support Rose, and those that could not get tickets, I'm sure are watching the ball game. Very proud of what Rose accomplished, not only in high school there, but since he's been in professional baseball. And a great kid, so they're all hoping he does well.
Two is the count on Segui. Ran into a couple of people down in Fort Myers who were very quick and proud to point out that Brian is the first native of Dartmouth, as near as anybody has been able to figure out, to make the major leagues. Of course, there have been others from that part of the world, including the man sitting to my right. Rose knocks it down. He'll go to second for 1, and Garcia-Pollock guns it across for the double play. 1-6-3. And after 3.5, no score at Fenway. We'll be back after these words from your local stations. This is the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
Next time on Star Trek, The Next Generation, Lieutenant Worf is reunited with his lost love.
I've never had such strong feelings toward anyone.
Two brave warriors test the courage of their private passions.
We are mated.
I am not going to become your wife.
Now, they must join forces to prevent a Klingon attack.
Drop your shields.
On Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Tonight at 7 on WB 59.
What kind of man starts a relationship with a 16-year-old babysitter?
Next Sally. She knows her husband is messing around.
But he loves me.
And she has a shocking secret to tell her sister. She's the mistress.
I have been having an affair with your husband, okay?
His mistress destroyed our lives on The Next Sally.
Tonight on WB 59.
The Red Sox continue their first homestand of the year, and you won't want to miss tomorrow's game as Pedro Martinez makes his Fenway debut. Tune in to On Deck beginning at 12:30, followed by Red Sox baseball. Don't miss the action over most of our 68 Sports television network.
And the Mariners will counter with Jamie Moyer, former Red Sox left-hander. 3 lefties working this series this weekend for the Mariners. As Johnson throws ball 1 to Mo Vaughn, leading off the bottom of the 4th. Martinez against Moyer tomorrow, and then Tim Wakefield against Jeff Facero scheduled coming off the disabled list for the Mariners on Sunday. Johnson working in tight with the fastball. 2-0 to Vaughn. And fouled away on the hands. Mo was just grazed on the uniform by a Randy Johnson pitch back in the first inning.
The amazing thing, Doug, is that Randy Johnson will throw Mo inside to try to get him off that plate, but Mo, one of the best at keeping that front shoulder in.
And a called strike 2, tough pitch.
Well, that's help that Randy Johnson probably does not need, and I think every hitter will tell you that. That ball appeared to be down. And instead of 3-1, now it's 2-2.
And called strike 3 right over the heart of the plate. And Mo Vaughn is the 6th strikeout victim of Randy Johnson, 2nd called.
Well, this is a different Randy Johnson than the first 2 outings of the year, and this is a Randy Johnson today that's going to use his fastball to get outs. That a perfect pitch by Johnson. The one before was questionable, but that's certainly a strike.
Jim Leyritz, who was down on 3 pitches to strike out back in the first inning. Fouls it off over the roof to the right, 1-1.
And like we mentioned, Leyritz coming to the plate this time with the sunglasses on. He appeared to be complaining about some type of glare from center field, so he's made the adjustment to the glasses. We'll see if that helps.
Well, as you can see, Johnson in sunlight and the batter's box is in shadow, which certainly is a factor too at this point.
Yeah, this is getting difficult now. Right about halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound.
Leyritz ahead in the count, 2-1. Now even at 2-2. Randy Johnson actually hasn't won a game in his last 4 starts going back to last year. Leyritz trying the right field line, but it's foul, just short of the pole. Johnson had a loss and a no decision in the playoff series last season. And there you see it, trying to avoid duplicating that feat from 5 years ago. Ooh, and Leyritz took that one off the, was it the ankle maybe, or the foot? We'll have to wait and see. He tried to skip out of the way, but didn't make it. So that's the 2nd hit batsman for Johnson, but this one actually made contact.
Yeah, and don't mistake this as being some type of a beanball war, because it's not. Joey Cora got hit with a breaking ball, and the same thing here for Leyritz. It looks like Randy Johnson wanted to go with the slider down and in. Instead, it got that front foot of Jim Leyritz. Believe me, if you get hit by Randy Johnson, you'd rather get hit down there than something up around the head.
Appeared to be right off the top of the left foot. Leyritz trying to shake it off. Jimmy Williams out for a quick visit.
Number 47, the catcher.
Leyritz will remain in the game.
Veritek.
That'll bring up Jason Veritek with one out and Leyritz at first. Veritek had a base hit in his last at bat against Randy Johnson Sunday in Seattle. But right now he's hoping that he can get out of this strikeout rut that he's in. Takes a called strike there. 1-1 the count on Veritek.
You know, Randy Johnson, a difficult guy to put plays on against. You know, it's not the ideal situation for a hit and run play because he's a non-contact pitcher, a guy that strikes out a lot. Usually those plays are safe for the sinker ball pitchers, guys that do not strike out a lot of hitters.
Up just a little bit with the fastball to Veritek. 2-1.
The problem with that is if you just sit around and wait for things to happen, most of the time against Johnson they don't happen.
Well, the Red Sox had 2 runners on with 1 out in the first inning and were unable to even put a ball in play. Johnson fanned Leyritz and Veritek to get out of the inning. Here he falls behind Jason 3-1. Took a long look down to Wendell Kim in that third base coach's box. The on-deck hitter is Damon Buford. Leyritz at first, and the pitch fouled away by Veritek.
See here again now on the 3-2 count. Most of the time you'll send that runner at first base, but again you have to almost rethink that when you have Randy Johnson pitching because it quickly becomes a strike him out, throw him out situation.
Three and 2 on Veritek. Leyritz with a short lead at first and fouled away. Jason will celebrate his 26th birthday tomorrow. Like to celebrate it early with something here against Johnson, but he knocks down the hopper and throws Veritek out. Let's get an update now from Butch Stearns back in our 68 Sports studio.
All right, Doug, thank you. A pitcher's duel at Fenway. No such storyline at Yankee Stadium. The A's in the top of the 5th. Dave Maganet at the plate against Mike Buddy. Singles knocks in old pal Matt Stairs, and the A's take a 13-12 lead. Then we go to the bottom of the inning. Tino Martinez comes up. He gets a 2-run double, scoring O'Neill and Bernie Williams. 14-13 Yankees. They added 2 more. It's now in the top of the 6th. 16-13 Yankees. Whoever goes for 2 is going to win this one, guys.
You'll say, Butch, the field goal kickers become very important at this time of the ball game. First pitch to Damon Buford is a ball.
Nice crisp little pitches duel at Yankee Stadium this afternoon.
The Red Sox, by the way, officially the last team of the 30 major league teams to play their home opener this season, is Buford homing in on us off to the right. The Yankees and Indians both playing their home openers this afternoon, but they started at 1. Red Sox starting here just after 3. Johnson works outside to Buford. 2-1 now on Damon.
The last ground ball that Veritek hit. Johnson, of course, being so tall, knocked it down. If that ball gets over his head, it's going to be a double play to end the inning. Instead, he knocked it down, and that allows a man to get into scoring position. See if the Red Sox can take advantage of that.
Buford watches closely. It's 3-1 now. This is just the second runner the Red Sox have had as far as second base in this game. The Mariners have not had any runners in scoring position against Brian Rose. It's Mark Lemke hoping to get a chance this inning. Buford fouls another one away off to the right. Buford took a called third strike back in the second inning, one of 6 Randy Johnson strikeouts. 3-2 pitch coming. Buford goes to left, hit well, up and out of here. Damon Buford, a 2-run home run against Randy Johnson, and the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead.
First home run and first 2 RBI of the season for Buford. He got the fastball from Randy Johnson and a line drive home run into the net. Buford's had a heck of a day. He had that great defensive play earlier in the ball game, saving a run, and now he puts 2 runs on the board with the home run.
The first pitch, a strike to Mark Lemke. And Buford, the man of the hour now in that Red Sox dugout. Called strike, 1-1 to Lemke.
Well, it was a small thing, Doug, with that ball that was knocked down by Johnson. Instead of going over his head, it would have been a double play. It keeps the inning alive, and Buford takes advantage of it with the home run.
But the strikeout of Lemke ends the inning. The Red Sox do get 2 on the home run by Damon Buford. A 2-0 Red Sox lead after 4 on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Connecting with the wrong internet provider can leave even the most experienced net user frustrated and abandoned. Now there's a better way. BellAtlantic.net, with access to Big Yellow, your Yellow pages on the web, and a helpful staff to guide you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bell Atlantic can open doors to the internet you never knew existed. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
When the unexpected happens, Dodge Dakota swings into action. Standard dual airbags help guard you from the front. High-strength steel door beams help shield you from the side, while the front seats are designed to help protect you from the rear. When it came to building a safer truck, we considered all the angles. Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Check out the easiest way to purchase Red Sox tickets through the new Touchstone ticketing system by dialing 617-482-4SOX. This friendly system provides fans with the fastest, safest, and most convenient way to purchase Red Sox tickets. It gives you access to the game's oldest and most traditional ballpark through cutting-edge technology. Touchstone ticketing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any Touchstone phone. Credit cards only.
Randy Johnson trailing 2-0 thanks to the home run by Damon Buford in the bottom of the 4th. Well, Red Sox fans, check out the new 24-hour Touchstone ticketing by calling 617-482-4SOX. This new system's the easiest way to purchase tickets any time of day. Why not use the latest technology to purchase Red Sox tickets at one of America's oldest and most storied ballparks?
Brian Rose now working with a 2-0 lead and gets a called strike to Glenn Allen Hill leading off the top of the 5th. Hill grounded out to Lemke his first time. A little tapper toward short, the charge by Garciaparra, and the first out.
Well, because of the shadows at home plate, they put the lights on here at Fenway. Most of the light stands on, and that certainly brightened things up just a bit in that area.
By the way, the 2-run home run for Damon Buford in the bottom of the 4th reminds us to tell you that for each Red Sox home run on a TV 68 telecast this season, Dunkin' Donuts will make a contribution to the Jimmy Fund. The Red Sox hope you will help too. Dan Wilson now to face Rose, taking a pitch inside. Wilson was a strikeout victim, a called third strike in the second. Right back to Rose. And 2 down.
Now this would be big for Rose to get through this top of the 5th. His club just puts 2 points on the board, and if you can come down and shut down the offense in that inning, it has to make you feel a little better, and certainly those guys in the Red Sox dugout. They're not going to put Rose in a position today to fail. You know, they're going to wait too long if he starts to lose it to get him out of there.
Just 60 pitches to this point, as you saw. For Rose, who works now to Russ Davis, the number 8 hitter, for a called strike. Davis hit a hot smash down to John Valentin. Couldn't backhand it. Tough play. One of 2 base hits today for the Mariners off Rose. And 1-1 the count now to Davis. Don't talk to Davis about making tough plays at third, though. He had a pretty good spring defensively for the Mariners, and then in the first 4 games of the regular season at the Kingdome, Davis made 4 errors down at third base. Pops this one back our way and out of play.
Well, that's every fielder's nightmare, you know, to get off to a bad start defensively. You know, everybody has a goal, you know, where they want to be error-wise at the end of the season. When you got 4 quick ones the first week of the season, that's depressing.
1-2 the count to Davis. In the dirt. Varitek going for the block even with no one on base. Good habits. Rose with a 2-2 count. And a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. Breaking pitch just missing. Rose looked like he might have taken a half a step toward the dugout.
And why not? Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Now the payoff. Toward right field and a base hit. 3rd hit of the day for the Mariners. 2 for 2 for Russ Davis.
Now there's a case of a hitter hitting a good pitch by Rose. That ball on the outside corner. Davis trying to protect, trying to stay away from the strikeout. A nice piece of hitting. That's a good quality pitch by Rose. But Davis picks up the base hit and keeps him away from the 1-2-3 inning.
Rose has had just one 1-2-3 inning in this ball game. That was the 2nd. Robert Perez now. On the ground to 3rd. Right to John Valentin. He'll take the short way over to Lemke for the 3rd out. Halfway through the home opener at Fenway, the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead on the Mariners on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
This is cellular.
This cellular. This cellular.
This is OmniPoint.
This is OmniPoint. This is OmniPoint.
Introducing OmniPoint, a 100% digital system so advanced there's absolutely no static.
No static.
And so superior there's no contract.
No contract.
Molly, wanna...
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get a $129 Siemens digital PCS phone for $49.
Since the dawn of time, there has been the eternal question, how low can you go? Even after inventing the wheel and tires to go with wheels, the question remained, how low can you go? To set history straight, nobody will go lower on prices for brand name tires than NTB. Nobody. So give us a call. NTB, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
Red Sox with a 2-0 lead, moving to the bottom of the 5th. Darren Bragg will lead it off. He struck out against Randy Johnson back in the 2nd, and you mentioned, Jerry, the little byplay between the two of them. It was because of this at bat a couple of years ago.
Grand slam home run by Darren Bragg, as we mentioned, 1 for 1 in his career at that point against Randy Johnson, but Randy got the better of him last time with the strikeout and kind of stared him down after the strikeout.
That home run for Bragg was the first of his career against a left-handed pitcher. Picked a pretty good one.
Randy Johnson at that time was bothered by a bad back.
Missing, 1-1 the count to Bragg. Darren's first career major league home run came against Aaron Seeley back in May of 1995 when Bragg was with Seattle. And by the way, did you notice that Aaron Seeley threw a 3-hitter for a shutout yesterday? Ooh. Well, Darren was able to get out of the way of that one, and he's going to take a little time to think about it.
Yeah, those are the ones that'll make you take a walk. Those ones up around your coconut that you got to dive out of the way of. Of course, these guys ex-teammates with the Seattle Mariners.
And inside again comes Johnson for ball 4. So he was concentrating on working Bragg inside, but got too far inside a couple of times and loses him.
Remember one time last year, Doug, when Johnson was working against the Red Sox in Seattle, Darren Bragg was not in the lineup that day, and Johnson, before making his warm-up tosses to start the game, was telling him in the dugout, come on, get in the game, I want to face you. So they've had this going back and forth for a while.
Darren Lewis trying for the bunt, pops it into the crowd near the Red Sox dugout. Lewis was bunting for a base hit his first time up, but left it right out in front of the plate, and Dan Wilson, the catcher, threw him out easily. That time thinking about the sacrifice. With Bragg at first. Up in the air and out of play off to the right.
You know, sometimes it's just as difficult to bunt a guy like Randy Johnson as it is to hit him. And you see there that Jimmy Williams put the bunt on one attempt. As a matter of fact, Lewis may have done that on his own.
Darren Lewis 0 for 1 today, 4 for 21 now for the season. And swings through a fastball. That is Randy Johnson's 8th strikeout of the afternoon.
8 strikeouts, and 7 of those 8 have been with the fastball. The only breaking ball for a strikeout was to Buford back in the 2nd inning. Every other one, the fastball. This is almost complete opposite of the way he pitched in Seattle.
By the way, the walk to Bragg to start this inning was the first by Johnson today. He has hit 2 batters. Back to the top of the order for Nomar Garciaparra. Struck out in the 1st, lined to first back in the 3rd inning. Bragg is up, and Wilson will take a shot, but a great jump for Darren Bragg, and he steals 2nd easily.
Yeah, Wilson had absolutely no chance at all. Bragg is stealing that one off Randy Johnson. If you guess correctly on Johnson's first move, you got a great chance of stealing the base, because it does take him quite a while to get the ball home. Wilson has to rush. The throw is going to be to the shortstop side of 2nd, and Bragg picks up his first stolen base of the season. More importantly, gets in a scoring position.
Garciaparra watches it sail outside. 1-1. Make it 2-0 the count. First pitch was a ball also. 2-0 the count on Nomar. The only Red Sox hitter that has not struck out to this point is John Valentin. Garciaparra watches again, 3-0.
May not be a bad idea, too, to give him green light on the 3-0 pitch. Hopefully you get a batting practice fastball from Johnson. Well, even that'll be faster than a regular one.
And it's ball 4. So 2 walks sandwiched around the strikeout of Lewis. And the Red Sox have runners at first and second with 1 out, and John Valentin coming up.
Number 13.
Lou Piniella looking on from the Seattle dugout. See what the Mariners elect to do here defensively. That's what Lou is talking about.
Well, he's telling Segui at first base to closen up a little bit to Valentin, and the reason for that is if there's going to be a ground ball, you can't let that guy at first base get too big of a lead, or he'll break up that thing at second base. So they've got to keep him somewhat close.
Valentin takes a called strike. Valentin doubled off the wall in left center in the first, fouled out to Segui, the first baseman, his last trip. Looking to pick up Darren Bragg at second. Fouls it away.
The other thing you always have to be aware of too, Doug, when there's a left-handed pitch and that first baseman behind the runner at first, that pickoff play is a possibility. So you, as a base runner, you got some responsibilities even though it's a first and second situation.
That was the 85th pitch for Randy Johnson. That's maybe a little high for this point in the ball game, bottom of the 5th. The 0-2. Valentin called third strike. The call made by John Shulak down at first as he punches Valentin out on the check swing.
A little half swing by Valentin on the breaking ball, and I think you'll see by this angle the head of the bat does go out in front of home plate, not controlled by Valentin, and Shulak making the correct call.
So it's a swinging strikeout, but called by the first base umpire. So that's 1 strikeout now of all 9 Red Sox hitters for Randy Johnson. And now 2 down in the 5th. Mo Vaughn looks low for ball 1. Mo was just grazed by a Randy Johnson fastball on the jersey in the first inning. Took a called third strike. His last time up in the 4th. And he fouls it away.
Got a matchup here between 2 guys that potentially could be free agents at the end of the season. Not even talking to Randy Johnson, but Mo Vaughn has had some talk. So both guys in the same situation, but in one case, no discussions about a deal. Vaughn has had some.
Well, it seems like Randy Johnson has pretty much closed the door in Seattle. Throws high to Vaughn. The negotiations, if we can use that word, between the Mariners and the Ace, a little bit more acrimonious than the Red Sox situation with Vaughn right now. And Vaughn swings through the breaking pitch. 2-2 the count to Mo.
I think the way Mo feels when he faces Johnson, look, I know he's going to get me 2-3 times a game, but if I can get him 1 time, I've had a good day.
And Mo is the only left-handed hitter with 2 career home runs against Randy Johnson. The 2-2. Swinging strike 3, number 10 for Randy Johnson through 5 innings. He strikes out the side in the 5th. He also walked a couple of batters. The Red Sox have their 2-0 lead at the end of 5 here at Fenway on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes.
Whether it's the stylish design,
I'm sitting on the dock of the bay,
the advanced technology,
watching the tide,
or even the extensive warranty. It's a whole new Hyundai, any way you look at it.
Hey, Red Sox fans, why not bring your company, family, or group to friendly Fenway and see the 1998 Red Sox? The Red Sox look to showcase their new talent and returning players for the 1998 season. Come see Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Pedro Martinez, along with infielders Nomar Garcia-Parra, John Valentin, and Mo Vaughn. For details on discount programs for groups of 40 and more, call the group sales office at 617-262-1915. Red Sox baseball. What a game.
Who goes to the University of Massachusetts?
I fell in love with the campus immediately upon seeing it.
I am a better astronaut because of what I learned at UMass.
When you measure the quality of the education, it's a no-brainer where you're going to go to school.
It's one of the state's great jewels.
I believe UMass is part of the American dream.
Looking back, I wouldn't have gone anywhere else.
Would I go there again in a heartbeat?
The University of Massachusetts. Get the idea?
I'm proud to be president of the university. Let us be part of your success story.
Brian Rose and the Red Sox have a 2-0 lead through 5 innings here at Fenway Park. And before we start the top of the 6th, a check on our game summary. Rose has allowed 3 hits but no runs to this point. The Red Sox offense coming on the 2-run line shot home run to left by Damon Buford in the 4th. Randy Johnson with his 84th career 10-strikeout game as he got Vaughn to end the 5th. And Russ Davis with 2 of the 3 Mariner hits. Top of the Mariner order now to start the 6th inning, and Joey Cora. Today opens a 10-game homestand for the Red Sox, 3 against Seattle, 3 against Oakland, and then 4 against the Cleveland Indians. And starting today, Jerry, the Red Sox play 19 of their next 24 here at Fenway Park.
It seems like they've been on the road forever, fine with spring training and opening up on the West Coast.
A little reward here, a few weeks mostly at home. Still on West Coast time, are you?
I don't know what time. Because that's not unusual.
2-1 and now 3-1 to Cora.
This is a key inning for Rose. You get through the 6th, then you're talking about the 7th, 8th, and 9th with Corsi, Eckersley, and Gordon.
Cora flied to left in the 1st, was hit by a pitch his last time, and this time walks to lead the 6th inning. Second time the Mariners have had the lead man on against Rose.
Joey Cora doing his job as a leadoff hitter, down by a couple of runs. He's going to make Rose throw strikes. Ends up drawing the walk.
Only the 4th walk this season for Joey Cora. How much you pay for those seats up there?
They had to get there early for those.
It's a long ladder. Alex Rodriguez showing bunt and taking ball 1. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Well, I'll say this, it's a good thing he was faking a bunt, because had he been swinging away, that was a hanger by Rose, and he might have hit that a long way. One of the few breaking balls that did not snap off well for him this afternoon.
Joe Kerrigan keeping a close eye on his young protege. Rodriguez with the count 1-0, and Rose stepping off, keeping an eye on Cora. A matchup of 22-year-olds here, Rose and Rodriguez. Cora does not have a stolen base this season. See if Rodriguez shows the bunt again. Not this time, and now it's 2-0.
Rose should not become distracted with Joey Cora at first base. Obviously, you should be thinking only about the man at the plate. You've got the 2-run lead, and here comes Joe Kerrigan. We're going to start, I think, to see some action out that bullpen for Boston.
Some stirring out there, in fact. And Kerrigan with a word or two for Brian Rose, who's pitched very well here this afternoon. He's allowed just 3 hits. No runner has reached second base. Jim Corsi begins warming up out in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Rose has hit a batter. He has walked 1 and struck out 2. Given up a hit in each of the last 3 innings. And the walk to the leadoff batter Cora here in the 6th. And now 2-0 on Rodriguez. Foul tip into the mitt. Rodriguez, the 1996 most valuable player, runner-up to Juan Gonzalez of the Texas Rangers. Oh yes, Ken Griffey Jr. looms on deck, and Rodriguez hits it hard toward left field and off the wall on a line, and so hard that Cora can advance only one base. A shot by Rodriguez that got out there in about a second and a half, and Cora could do nothing except hold up.
And of course, this is a lineup that can strike in a hurry, and that's always a concern for a manager, pitching coach. It's what happens when you fall behind. A 2-1 pitch on the inner part of the plate and a hard line drive by Rodriguez. So the Mariners have something going here in the 6th. 2 on, nobody out.
The Mariners averaging almost 8 runs a game here early in the season, and they were hitting .310 as a team coming in. First pitch to Ken Griffey Jr. rides upstairs. Griffey walked in the first and flied out to center last time. 76 pitches now for Rose. And in a jam here in the 6th with a 2-run lead, runners at first and second and nobody out. And 2-0 now to Griffey.
And all of a sudden, Rose not making the quality pitches that he'd been making in the first 5 innings. And that is very dangerous against this offense. A little time being bought by Valentin to give Corsi in that bullpen a few more tosses. And also a motivational speech for Rose.
Yeah, looked like a little word or two of advice from John. Well, the 3, 4, 5 batters in this Seattle lineup are just 1 for 5 to this point today against Rose. But a big spot in this ball game here. And picks up the outside corner. 2-1 now on Griffey.
That's a pitch that Griffey wants no part of on a 2-0 count. He's looking in a zone middle in. That was a good fastball down and away.
The pitch John Valentin must have told him to throw.
Exactly.
Rose again pours in a called strike. I'm not sure Griffey thought too much of that call either.
Well, he's made back-to-back nasty pitches on Griffey. Good quality pitch there by Brian Rose.
And Griffey will step out. That looked about as low as the pitch of Randy Johnson's that was called a strike earlier in the ball game by Tim Sheeta. 2-2 now, the count on Griffey. On the ground, foul, and watch out in that Red Sox dugout. Look alive down there.
Look out, Pedro. Get out of the way.
Everybody ducking.
Almost took out Martinez, Wendell Kim, and Jim Rice. Plus Martinez gets the chance to get back at him tomorrow as he'll be the starting pitcher here at Fenway.
Wendell Kim describing how he got out of the way. The count still 2-2 on Griffey. The crowd rising to help Brian Rose. Strikes Griffey out on a pitch well out of the strike zone. First out of the inning.
Well, Veritek went to the mound to talk to Rose. Listen to this ovation for Rose after that strikeout. He threw 2 pitches away and then back inside, up and in with the fastball. The pitch before he did not get far enough in. And Rose liked that.
Griffey might remember that. Big out for Rose there. Runners still at first and second. Griffey 0 for 2 on the day. Just the 3rd strikeout for Brian Rose. But considering the situation, just huge right there. And now Edgar Martinez, who's hit the ball sharply twice Back in the first inning, he was robbed of extra bases by a diving Damon Buford catch in right center field. Last time, Martinez hit a sharp ground ball single right up the middle. Just a little bit up and in for ball one. On the ground, foul. Past the Seattle dugout. Cora walked to lead off this sixth inning. Then the single off the wall by Rodriguez. Rose then bounced back to get the strikeout of Griffey after falling behind 2-0 in the count. And now he's 1-1 against Edgar Martinez. Breaking pitch. Missing, 2-1.
It's not a bad pitch, but I think Veritek may have cost him that strike the way he caught the ball. Caught it moving down out of the strike zone.
Martinez with the count his way, 2-1. And again low. Advantage Martinez here, 3-1 the count. Well, certainly for Brian Rose, Jerry, his third major league start, but the first time in his career as David Segui loosens up on deck. The first time in his career that he's been in this situation in the middle innings of a tight ball game with something on the line, trying to reach back and find something. Martinez hits it deep toward left center field. Bragg is back there, and it's up off the wall out of the reach of Damon Buford. This is going to tie the ball game. Cora and Rodriguez come around to score on the stand-up double by Edgar Martinez.
It looked like for a second, the way the wind was blowing, it was going to hold it up just enough so to give an outfielder a chance to make the play, but it's just going to scrape the wall. And again, the danger of falling behind, 3-1. That pitch down and in, Edgar Martinez golfing the ball off the wall against the wind. And this game's tied up, and that's going to be the afternoon for Brian Rose.
Well, he's going to get a terrific hand, a standing ovation from the crowd here at Fenway Park. Well deserved into the sixth inning before allowing a run, getting that big strikeout of Griffey for the first out in this inning. But then the two-run double by Martinez ties it up, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Bell Atlantic. As Jim Corsi enters the ball game, we'll come back, tell you more about him, and get back to the top of the sixth inning. Now in a 2-2 game at Fenway after this break from your local sponsors on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
The baddest team in baseball is back. Their fielding is flaky. Their base running is bizarre. What's he doing? And their pitching is off the wall. Major League back to the minors. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, April 17th.
A shipwrecked family. She'll never sail again. Discovers an island of treasures.
My tiger!
In a paradise lost.
Didn't you ever dream of having a house up on a treetop? Now you can lie here and look at the stars.
Waiting to be found.
We've got to keep going.
Pirates!
Disney takes you on a breathtaking journey. It's the unforgettable adventure of the Swiss Family Robinson.
Sunday at 5 on WB 59.
The teacher.
Do you ever think about me?
The student.
I can't stop thinking about you.
The unthinkable act.
Do you know anyone who would kill Greg? I killed him.
The startling true story of Pamela Smart and the sex for murder scandal that shocked a nation.
Her husband was killed last night. I'm a teacher. You're gonna believe me.
Helen Hunt, Chad Allen, and Howard Hessman. Murder in New Hampshire.
Saturday at 8 on WB 59. Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Paul O'Neill step up to the plate to take on the Oakland A's. Saturday at 1:30. Flip on Yankees baseball. Flip on WB 59.
Edgar Martinez with his second hit of the day, a two-run double, has tied this ball game at 2-2 in the top of the sixth, and the Red Sox have made a pitching change.
And the new pitcher will be Jim Corsi, making his fourth appearance of the season for the Red Sox. He's worked a total of 4 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs, 1 walk, a couple of strikeouts. Corsi last worked a couple of days ago against the Angels, and Scoreless inning in 2/3, allowing 1 hit against Anaheim.
For Brian Rose, 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 5 hits and 2 runs. He's responsible for Martinez at second. Walked 2, struck out 3, and hit a batter. But certainly for Brian Rose, something that he can build on, Jerry, after the start in Seattle last weekend.
Now, certainly of the 3 appearances he's made so far in the major leagues, that by far the best. He was pitching today. He was using both sides of the plate, not afraid to come inside with fastballs and working away. Because he'll be upset with himself here in the 6th for walking that leadoff hit of Joey Cora.
David Segui with Martinez at second and 1 out. Segui has been very hot this season, but 0 for 2 today. Against Rose, he struck out and then grounded into a 1-6-3 double play his last time.
That last camera shot was from our new camera down the directly down that first baseline. I think.
Cage cam now on both the first and third base lines. Here on our 68 Sports coverage.
Nice look at the Prudential Center on a nice clear afternoon here in Boston.
The rain cleared out of here just in time for opening day, just as it's supposed to be. Corsi with the breaking pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Looked like he pulled the string on that one a little bit. This time off the fist, Valentin makes a bad throw over the first, and that will go off the railing down there, and Martinez is going to try and score, and he will make it. So the bad throw by Valentin one-hops Mo Vaughn. Very difficult play for Vaughn. That'll be an error on Valentin for sure, and Martinez never stopped coming around third.
Yeah, he was heading back toward second base, and then once he saw that throw get away, he starts to hustle, and he'll score. Wide at first base by Valentin. It's got a one-hop. Mo's going to try to stay in contact with the bag and backhand it, and it gets by him, and here comes Martinez with the go-ahead run. So in what has been a well-played ball game so far, getting a little ugly here in the 6th.
Valentin with his second error of the season. That run will be charged to Brian Rose. And Glenn Allen Hill swings at a pitch in the dirt.
The first baseman always has to make the decision. Do I try to backhand the ball, stay in contact with the bag, and hope I come up with it for the out, or do I come off the bag and block the ball? A lot of guys will come off that bag and block it, especially when there's a man in scoring position.
Missing low is Corsi, 1-1. The count now on Hill. You mentioned, Jerry, the Red Sox had played well defensively the first 5 innings of this game. The great catch by Buford earlier, a couple of double plays. Corsi brings the strike in.
Here's where you make that decision. Mo trying to backhand the ball, and you really can't blame him in that situation. He felt he had a chance to make the pick off the grass. And of course, by the time they chase it down, Martinez will score that run.
Right back to the middle, and Corsi thought about throwing to third, but gets Hill at first. Kind of a late break by Segui, and by the time Corsi realized what was happening, it was too late to go over to third.
Corsi, I don't think, realized that that man was going to third base, and somebody probably yelled out, check third, and by the time he did, it was too late. The first thing he's supposed to do is check that runner at second base. Corsi did not do that. So Segui gets to third, and they get the out at first base.
Didn't really look like Segui got the greatest jump from second either. But 2 down now, and Dan Wilson takes one up high. Wilson 0 for 2 today. And chops one foul. Covered by Varitek just in case.
He's had some funny swings off Corsi so far. Segui had a real late swing. The result was the ground ball to third, the one back to the box, and then a late swing there by Dan Wilson. Almost like they're having difficulty seeing the ball with those shadows.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Jerry. That might have also made that play by Vaughn a little tougher too, because that ball went from shadow through sun and into shadow again on the way over to first base. Dan Wilson with some good numbers against Jim Corsi. Hits this one sharply to right field. Lewis is following it and makes the catch just shy of the warning track. But the Mariners get 3 runs to take the lead, getting the lead run on the throwing error by Valentin. 3-2 Seattle after 5.5 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Want to have some fun? I'm the Mazda protege. Come on, let's go for a drive. Bring all your stuff and all your friends. I got the most room in my class. Bring some tunes. Louder? Great. I'm also a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. So, now that you have nothing to worry about, get ready to have more fun than you paid for. Come on, let's go for a drive.
Choose 2,000 cash back or 2.4% financing on the Mazda Protege LX.
Who goes to the University of Massachusetts?
I fell in love with the campus immediately upon seeing it.
I am a better astronaut because of what I learned at UMass.
When you measure the quality of the education, it's a no-brainer where you're going to go to school.
It's one of the state's great jewels.
And it was a great learning experience. It really was.
Would I go there again in a heartbeat?
The University of Massachusetts. Get the idea?
I'm proud to be president of the university. Let us be part of your success story.
In the next century, there'll be 50% more passengers at Logan Airport. So major construction is underway. The first improvement is a new garage with thousands of parking spots all under one roof. And for convenience, enclosed moving walkways will connect it to terminals A and E, opening this summer.
Oh, excuse me. I believe you got my router.
Oh, my apologies.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh, here's mine.
Logan modernization. Work in progress.
Well, the Mariners have taken a 3-2 lead on the Dunkin' Donuts scoreboard here in the top of the 6th inning. The Red Sox season ticket packages are on sale now for the 98 season. Get in on the ground and what is sure to be an exciting upcoming season for the Red Sox. Call the season ticket office at 617-267-8661 for further information. Information, not information. Information.
What was it again?
Information.
Okay.
Not inflammation. Information.
Well, now Randy Johnson has the lead for the first time today, thanks to that John Valentin throwing error. Looks like he's still thinking about it.
Anytime you make an error, it hurts, and especially one when there's a man in scoring position and that guy scores.
Jim Leyritz watches the first pitch sail away for ball 1. The third run, by the way, is unearned, so Rose charged with 3 runs, but only 2 of them earned. Leyritz tries for the right field foul pole again, but slices it just wide. Leyritz has struck out swinging and been hit by a pitch. Last time up, took a Randy Johnson pitch right off the top of his left foot. Fouls another one away.
Well, Mariners have given Johnson another chance in this game. They've given him the lead. He has been outstanding today, with the exception of the home run. And let's see how he responds now when he has the 3-2 lead.
One and 2 on Leyritz. 1 and 3 on Leyritz. Strikeout number 11 for Randy Johnson.
Backdoor breaking ball by Johnson. He'll start it off the outside edge and pick up the outside corner to pick up the strikeout. The last 3 now for Johnson have been on the breaking ball.
And he's had 4 called third strikes now. Second time he's gotten Leyritz. He's also gotten Vaughn twice. He has everybody in the lineup at least once. First pitch to Jason Varitek, missing for ball 1. Now 1-1 the count. Varitek striking out to end the first inning against Johnson. Grounded right back to Randy on a high chopper his last time. Swinging a pitch in the dirt. 1-2 now on Baratek.
It seems like a lot more breaking balls as we move to the later innings in this game from Johnson. Look at the 11 strikeouts, the 2 walks.
Johnson ready to uncork his 99th pitch of the afternoon. And he has his 12th strikeout of the day. Another called third strike.
Well, right now he is becoming just about unhittable for these Red Sox because he's got both pitches working for him.
Here's what Damon Buford has done in his Fenway Park home opener. The great sliding catch on Edgar Martinez to end the first inning, and then in the bottom of the fourth, a 2-run line drive shot into the screen for Andy Johnson for the Red Sox. Only 2 runs of the day. Takes a called strike. Ground ball toward short, and Rodriguez kicks it, but recovers in time with the strong arm to make the play on Buford. A 1-2-3 inning for Randy Johnson. He has 12 Ks through 6, and the Mariners have a 3-2 lead on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Fitting in, schmitting in. The new RAV4. It's not for everyone, only you.
Connecting with the wrong internet provider can leave even the most experienced net user frustrated and abandoned. Now there's a better way. BellAtlantic.net, with access to Big Yellow, your Yellow pages on the web, and a helpful staff to guide you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bell Atlantic can open doors to the internet you never knew existed. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
With the Mariners leading 3-2, let's pause for station identification on the 68 Sports television network.
WBNE, New Haven, Hartford, Connecticut's home of Red Sox and Yankee baseball.
It'll be 8-9-1 for the Mariners. Davis, Perez, and Cora scheduled. You look at Damon Buford, who almost beat out this bobble by Rodriguez.
Fortunately for Rodriguez, when he bobbled it, it kept going toward first base, so he didn't have to take a step backwards. Momentum still going to the bag, and he'll just beat Buford.
Russ Davis 2 for 2 today. Infield hit to Valentin, and a sharp single to right. Fouling it back. 0-2 quickly on Davis.
Steve Avery starting to loosen in the Red Sox bullpen. When you look down the lineup, Griffey would be the 5th hitter in the inning if they got to that point, and that's why he's loosening up.
Davis in the hole, 0-2. Takes one up and away. Russ Davis set career highs in just about every category last season for the Mariners, even though he only played in 119 ball games because of injuries. Did not get a hit in the Mariners, or rather I should say has gotten a hit in every game he's played for the Mariners this year. An 8-game hitting streak now with his 2 hits today, but he looks at a called third strike there from Jim Corsi. Corsi rings up his first K.
And a lot of Corsi's strikeouts when they're looking by a hitter, both left-handers and right-handers. He likes to throw this pitch. He'll go outside off the plate to the right-handers, have it tail back on the corner. He'll do the same thing against lefties, except he'll throw it inside to him and hope they jump back and pick up that corner.
Brings up Robert Perez, the number 9 hitter, who's 0 for 2. Takes the breaking ball for a called strike. That double play that Perez hit into was back in the 3rd inning when he popped up a bunt attempt. It was caught by Jason Varitek, and he was able to double Russ Davis off first. 0-2 now on Perez.
Perez coming over late to the Mariners, former member of the Toronto Blue Jay organization.
Taken off the waiver wire just a couple of days before the start of the season. Actually, the day before the Mariners started, as they started on the 31st. Joey Cora waiting on deck. As you get the look from Cage Cam. Corsi on the 0-2, and again fouled off by Perez. The Mariners with 5 hits. The Red Sox with just 2 hits in this ball game. The double by Valentin in the first, and then the 2-run homer by Buford. That's been it. And strike 3 as Perez strikes himself out on a pitch way out of the strike zone.
Well, obviously Perez not seeing the ball very well in this particular at bat. That was never a strike.
Number 28, the second baseman, Joey Cora.
Varitek set up outside. That never had a pot of the plate, and Perez will chase it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Corsi.
And now facing Joey Cora, the leadoff hitter. Cora's been on base twice. He walked to lead off the 3-run 6th inning rally for the Mariners. Officially, Cora is 0 for 1 today. He's got an 8-game hitting streak on the line. Cora, like Russ Davis, setting career highs in a lot of different offensive categories last season.
Joey Cora has become very strong here in the second part of his career. 11 home runs last year. Got on a weight training program.
Breaking pitch, tough one by Corsi.
Corsi going for the strike out of the side.
The 1-2. Just missing inside. Cora spun away, but that pitch was very close to picking up the inside corner.
That's exactly what I was talking about with the left-hander. He'll start at the inside, try to get him to dance away, and then hopefully the ball will sail back on the corner. Just missed with that pitch.
Two-two. Slap down to Valentin at third. Has plenty of time. And again, the bad throw by Valentin. Cora ran into Vaughn, and I believe they're going to give Cora second base. They are, because he ran into Mo Vaughn trying to make the turn after the wild throw.
Yeah, once you are no longer involved in the play, you have to get out of the way of the base runner. And certainly it was not intentional by Vaughn, but the fact is he did obstruct Joey Cora, and Cora is going to be allowed to go to second base. Valentin having a very difficult time making those throws to first base. That even worse than the first one. Now, once the play's by Mo Vaughn, he has to allow that runner to go to second. He didn't mean to do it, but he couldn't get out of the way.
Joey kept churning, though, didn't he? Running into Mo. Jimmy Williams out to chat about it. Mo Vaughn listening in as well. It's John Shulock, the first base umpire, and Don Denginger, the second base umpire, in on the conversation. Here it is again.
That's one of those plays where it's really nobody's fault. I mean, Mo has momentum going that way. He can't get out of the way of Cora, but it's the correct call, I believe, by John Shulock.
Well, the ball didn't get that far away before it was picked up. And certainly, as you saw, if the obstruction hadn't been called, Cora would have been out easily. And he seemed to have it in his mind right from the beginning, Jerry, that he was going to try and take second.
Cora looked like a running back trying to pick up an extra couple of yards against that linebacker. Sometimes once you make one bad one, you make another one in the game.
The block by Veritek on the first pitch to Alex Rodriguez. Here's what Rodriguez has done today. 1 for 3. A couple of fly ball outs. His first 2 times before the single to left off the wall in the last inning. 2-0 on Alex. Rodriguez hit the ball so hard last time. He hit it about maybe 8 to 10 feet up on the left field wall, but Cora, running from first, was only able to advance 1 base. Of course, they both later scored on the double by Martinez. Just a piece of it foul. 2-1 now the count. Big spot here for the Red Sox. They want to keep this a 1-run ball game with Johnson throwing the way he is. Of course, Johnson has thrown a lot of pitches. Down low from Corsi, 3-1. With Ken Griffey Jr. waiting on deck.
Lurking in the shadows.
Fouled away by Rodriguez, and the count runs full. One of the other new wrinkles here at Fenway Park, we've talked about the masking of the seats in straightaway center field and the new infield. There's also a new rubberized portion behind home plate. There you get a good look at it. Try and prevent some of the wear and tear on the what would have been regular dirt part of the infield behind the plate.
Because during batting practice, a lot of guys hanging around that batting cage, and also members of the media,
right,
has a way of wearing that grass out. So now they got some of that cork surface to stand on.
Corsi gets the side with a called strike 3 on Rodriguez. So the second error by Valentin does not hurt. Time for this big crowd to stretch at Fenway Park with the Red Sox trailing 3-2 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
This is cellular.
This cellular. This cellular.
This is OmniPoint.
This is OmniPoint. This is OmniPoint.
Introducing OmniPoint, a 100% digital system so advanced there's absolutely no static.
No static.
And so superior there's no contract.
No contract.
Molly, wanna...
Yeah!
OmniPoint, 100% digital, 0% hassle. Get a $129 Siemens digital PCS phone for $49.
Check out the easiest way to purchase Red Sox tickets through the new Touchstone ticketing system by dialing 617-482-4SOX. This friendly system provides fans with the fastest, safest, and most convenient way to purchase Red Sox tickets. It gives you access to the game's oldest and most traditional ballpark through cutting-edge technology. Touchstone ticketing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any Touchstone phone. Credit cards only. Boston Red Sox baseball. Brought to you by NTV. We're everything you want, nothing you'd expect. And by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Ready for the bottom of the 7th here at Fenway Park with the Mariners holding a 3-2 lead for Randy Johnson, who has thrown over 100 pitches and has 12 strikeouts. And there is Heathcliff Slocum, perhaps wondering if he'll get his first save opportunity of the season for the Mariners. Over in the Red Sox bullpen, Dennis Eckersley warming up. Corsi with a very strong 7th inning, striking out the side. 2 of the strikeouts were called. The only base runner, the error by Valentin. Actually, the only batters to reach against Corsi. He faced 7 men. 2 of them reached on the errors by Valentin. He retired the other 5 with only 1 ball going to the outfield. Mark Lemke leading off the 7th against Randy Johnson.
This is about as bad a conditions you could have right now. Johnson in the shade, then there's that strip of sunlight, then shade again, and of course all the background still in sunlight.
This is getting close toward Nolan Ryan time, isn't it? And they started all those ball games for him.
5 o'clock starts in Anaheim.
Lemke takes, but it's in there for strike 2. And Lemke watches. 2-2 now the count. Mentioned the injury to Lemke last year. Tore ligaments in the right ankle. A collision with Derek Bell of the Astros back on August 20th. And he cannot hold back. Strikeout number 13 for Randy Johnson.
Well, earlier in the game, all of his strikeouts were coming with the fastball. Now, it's both fastball and breaking ball. Here's the breaking pitch again down and in. He has had much better control with that pitch this afternoon than the last time the Red Sox faced Randy Johnson.
Johnson's career high, in case you're wondering, is 19 strikeouts. He's done that twice. Bragg hits the ball on the ground to Davis and across the diamond for the 2nd out. Well, you wonder if Johnson would be able to go the distance here today.
20, the right fielder, Darren.
Although he hasn't thrown that many pitches here in this inning. All-time leaders, strikeouts per 9 innings. Randy Johnson ahead of both Nolan Ryan and Sandy Koufax. Last year, Johnson was 12.3 strikeouts per 9 innings, which not surprisingly led the American League. He was also first in batting average against a year ago at 193.
And the only guy better than him was Pedro Martinez over in the National League. He was about 184 against the league.
A little outside and ball 4 to Darren Lewis. That's the 3rd walk that Johnson has allowed. To go with 2 hit batsmen and 13 strikeouts, and Lou Piniella makes his first appearance from the dugout during today's game.
He wants to see how Johnson is feeling at this point, plus he's got some activity now starting in the bullpen. Lou got the answer he wanted to hear.
The shortstop,
Double-barreled action in the Mariner bullpen. Tony Fossis closest to you on the right of the screen, the left-hander, and Mike Timlin, the right-hander. This next pitch from Randy Johnson, as you see Avery and Eckersley warming up in the Red Sox bullpen, that hits Nomar Garciaparra. So that is the third hit batsman today for Randy Johnson, and the second time that he's gotten somebody down around the feet.
Yeah, the first one wasn't painful at all. He got Vaughn's shirt, but the last two certainly have been, as he got Leyritz and now Garciaparra in the foot.
That was the 112th pitch of the day for Randy Johnson.
And again, that's the last thing he wanted to do in that situation. That puts the potential tying run in scoring position.
That got the back foot, the right foot of Nomar Garciaparra.
Buckets of ice will be in the clubhouse after the game, and everybody will have their feet in the ice.
Nothing like getting hit in the foot on a chilly day, huh? Here's the line on Johnson. 2 on and 2 outs for John Valentin. An opportunity for Valentin here to atone for the 2 throwing errors, one of which gave the Mariners their lead run. Valentin reaches out and fouls it over toward the Mariner dugout. John doubled halfway up the monster in left center field his first time up. Last 2 times he's fouled to first and struck out swinging. Takes, called strike 2. Two on, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Mariners leading 3-2. Just missing the outside corner. The 2-2 pitch in the air, playable. Perez in short right field ends the threat. Well, the Red Sox get 2 base runners after 2 are out, but they cannot solve Randy Johnson in this inning. Still Mariners with a 3-2 lead. Back from these words from your local stations on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
This little girl does something amazing. She may eat twice her weight in sugar this year. Good thing there's Cheerios, with only 1 little gram of sugar a bowl. And since kids love it, it's a great place to help cut down their sugar.
The one and only Cheerio.
Did anyone see my spoon? I already poured the milk. Where's my spoon? Spoon? I need a spoon. Spoon?
Relax. Now the sweet honey taste of Golden Graham stays crispier longer.
Anyone seen my spoon?
Taste for yourself.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
This is that claim where the car we insure slammed into the victim from behind.
You haven't admitted fault, have you?
No.
I'll handle it. Who's representing this victim?
The law offices of Mark E. Salamone and Borelli.
Let's settle this one.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, let the insurance company know you mean business. Call the law offices of Mark E. Salamone and Morelli right now.
68.
Boston Red Sox baseball. Brought to you by New England Ford. See your New England Ford dealer today. And by Dunkin' Donuts. Something fresh is always brewing here.
Randy Johnson and the Mariners with a 3-2 lead as we go to the 8th inning. Johnson getting John Valentin on the short fly ball.
And he likes it. He's pumped. He's made it through the 7 innings. He's holding on to the 3-2 lead, and he's been outstanding here this afternoon.
13 strikeouts for Johnson. And the Red Sox have had a lot of men on base, Jerry. They had 2 on with 1 out in the first, couldn't score. 2 out, 2 on and 1 out in the 5th, couldn't score. And then 2 on with 2 outs there in the 7th. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Bell Atlantic. Steve Avery's first pitch to to Ken Griffey is low for ball 1.
This may be the only batter that Avery faces in this game. Eckersley continues to throw, and of course the right-handers are up after Griffey.
Griffey goes to right field and pretty deep over by the wall and touched by a fan in play. And what's the call? Is it a home run?
It should be interference.
Should be interference, exactly. They're calling it a double.
That should be fan interference because the fan reached over into the field of play.
Exactly.
So the umpire, in his judgment, where he would have been, that's where he puts the base runner. That's not a home run.
Lou Piniella is quickly out of the dugout to argue, but this was reminiscent of Jeffrey Mayer, except this one was called right.
Watch the fan, if we have it on the replay, reach over the fence and then touch the baseball. That becomes fan interference, and then the question is, where do you put the base runner? Would have been a double or a triple?
Fan reaching over from the front row.
There's the glove hanging over the fence. You'll see it's in the glove. It would, I don't think, Doug, that'd have been a home run. I think that would have hit off the fence. But the question is, I mean, if that gets by Darren Lewis, that could have been a triple for Griffey. But they're going to put him at second base.
John Shulock, the first base umpire, making the call down the right field line, although had to wait to make sure what the call was going to be. So Griffey doubles and Avery leaves after pitching to one batter. Dennis Eckersley coming into what's going to be a standing ovation at Fenway Park. We'll be back in the top of the 8th. The Mariners lead it 3-2 on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
Who goes to the University of Massachusetts? I fell in love with the campus immediately upon seeing it.
I am a better astronaut because of what I learned at UMass.
When you measure the quality of the education, it's a no-brainer where you're going to go to school.
It's one of the state's great jewels.
And it was a great learning experience. It really was. Would I go there again in a heartbeat?
The University of Massachusetts. Get the idea?
I'm proud to be president of the university. Let us be part of your success story.
Hey, Red Sox fans, why not bring your company, family, or group to friendly Fenway and see the 1998 Red Sox? The Red Sox look to showcase their new talent and returning players for the 1998 season. Come see Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Pedro Martinez, along with infielders Nomar Garcia-Parra, John Valentin, and Mo Vaughn. For details on discount programs for groups of 40 and more, call the group sales office at 617-262-1915. Red Sox baseball. What a game! Boston Red Sox baseball. Brought to you by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. And by OmniPoint Digital Wireless Communications.
Doug Brown in for Sean McDonough along with Jerry Remy back here at Fenway Park. The home opener for the Red Sox, and they trail it 3-2. Ken Griffey leading off the top of the 8th inning with a double to right called fan interference here.
And you clearly see that that ball would not have been a home run, nor would have Darren Lewis been able to make a catch on that. So a couple of tough calls for Shulock today, and I think he's been correct in both of them.
So with Griffey at second, Edgar Martinez is up, and Dennis Eckersley receiving a huge ovation in his first Fenway appearance in a Red Sox uniform since 1984. Right back up through the box. Eckersley can't play it, and Martinez will be able to beat it out. That'll be an infield hit for Martinez, his third hit of the day, and Griffey moves over to third.
And that's something Martinez does not get very many of, infield base hits. Eckersley knows that he should have had that ground ball and at least a one out at first base. Right back to the box for Martinez. He is now 3 for 4 on the afternoon. That's one a pitcher really kind of likes to get. Just one hop back to the mound, but Eckersley right off the heel of the glove. And of course, when he gets into that territory, it's going to be a base hit.
3 for 4 for Martinez, and the one time he was retired, Jerry, was on that great catch by Damon Buford in the first inning. So now 2 on and none out, with Eckersley working to David Segui. Segui takes a strike. By the way, prior to that double by Griffey, Steve Avery had retired 11 of the 12 batters he had faced this year. The only guy to reach on him prior to that double was David Segui with a home run last weekend in Seattle, last Friday, in fact. Hit sharply to Vaughn, the line drive, double play. That's about all the Red Sox could have asked for. Segui hooking one right to Mo Vaughn for the easy 2-step double play.
Just what the Eck ordered in this situation. A couple of quick outs.
Number 1, the left fielder.
Mo Vaughn playing just behind the runner at first base. There you see it in the line drive. He just has to come in a step to make the catch. And of course, he'll easily double up Martinez.
Griffey still at third now with 2 outs, and Glenn Allen Hill the batter. Swings through the first pitch from Eckersley. Hill is 0 for 3. Hasn't had the ball out of the infield today. The Red Sox have now turned 3 double plays. One of them on a ground ball, one on a line drive, and the other one on a popped bunt. Up the middle and into center field for an RBI base hit for Glenn Allen Hill, as Griffey comes in to score the 4th Mariner run. Big 2-out hit there for Hill.
And of course, 2 runs at this stage of the game with only 6 outs left for the Red Sox. Huge. Glenn Allen Hill, who killed the Red Sox last weekend in Seattle, picks up his first base hit. Ball tailing back on the outside corner. That's where they want to pitch Hill away, but he'll knock this one up the middle for the base hit.
8th hit of the day for the Mariners.
Like Charles Gibson coming in to run at first base for Glenn Allen Hill and going defensively.
Now pinch running at first base.
Gibson, a guy with good speed.
Charles Gibson.
Got his first 2 major league hits on Tuesday against the Yankees. So Gibson on for Hill, and Eckersley checking in with Gibson.
No, he's in it for a couple of reasons defensively, but right now to probably try to steal a base and get in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Gibson has only tried 1 steal this season. He was successful.
He's had some big stolen base numbers in the minor leagues.
There he goes, and he's going to steal it easily. Varitek doesn't even throw it.
Do they feel they can get a good jump? Eckersley has that high leg kick, and of course with 2 outs in the inning, they're going to try to get in scoring position. No contest, as Varitek could not get the ball out of the glove. Even if he did, he'd had no chance to get Gibson at second.
And the pitch a little low to Wilson. 2-0 now. Eckersley works, and this is going to fall in for a base hit for Wilson. Around third is Gibson, and he will score easily. To 2 Mariners.
That's a nice piece of hitting there by Dan Wilson, just taking Eckersley to the opposite field, not trying to do too much, just get himself a base hit with that man in scoring position, and now a 5-2 lead.
Number 18.
So the strategy pays off for Piniella. The pinch runner, a stolen base, a base hit, and another run. Gibson, like he was going through the tape at the end of a race.
4 hits this inning for the Mariners and a couple of insurance runs, and the first pitch to Russ Davis is low. Well, Jerry, the Mariners didn't have any runners in scoring position in this game until the 6th inning. But since then, they've taken advantage of their opportunities. And here's another base hit for Russ Davis, his 3rd of the day. And Wilson will stop at second. So Eckersley has now pitched to 5 batters. 4 of them have base hits. The other was the line drive double play by Segui.
And everything in this inning has been hit hard, except for the one that was back through the middle by Martinez that went for a base hit. But right from the leadoff batter, Griffey, they've come out swinging here in the 8th inning. Already in scoring position, Wilson will not take the chance of going to 3rd. You see the reaction by Eckersley.
Not exactly the Boston homecoming he had envisioned. Called first strike to Robert Perez.
Last time Red Sox fans saw Eckersley in a Red Sox uniform was a starting pitcher. And all the great years at Oakland, closing games out for the A's.
Popped up right side. That'll be out of the field of play behind the Red Sox dugout. Well, these two teams combined to score 50 runs in the 3 games at the Kingdome last weekend as Rich Garces warms in the Red Sox bullpen. The Mariners hit double figures in runs in their 2 wins against the Red Sox. Then the Sox got 10 runs in their win last Sunday. Mariners have done some of their best hitting against Red Sox pitching here early in the season. They lost their first 2 games to Cleveland, getting outslugged in both of those games. And then they lost 2 out of 3 to New York earlier this week. A little flare toward Lemke, and he'll be able to get there to end the inning, but not before the Mariners get 2 big insurance runs. 5-2 Seattle, heading to the bottom of the 8th on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Since the dawn of time, there has been the eternal question: how low can you go? Even after inventing the wheel and tires to go with wheels, the question remained: how low can you go? To set history straight, nobody will go lower on prices for brand name tires than NTB. Nobody. So give us a call. NTB, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
Fitting in, schmitting in. The new RAV4. It's not for everyone, only you.
Check out the easiest way to purchase Red Sox tickets through the new Touchstone ticketing system by dialing 617-482-4SOX. This friendly system provides fans with the fastest, safest, and most convenient way to purchase Red Sox tickets. It gives you access to the game's oldest and most traditional ballpark through cutting-edge technology. Touchstone ticketing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any Touchstone phone. Credit cards only.
Hi, everybody. Butch Stearns back in our 68 Sports studios. It is over in the Bronx, the 75th opening day and highest scoring game in Yankee Stadium history as Jeff Nelson strikes out Jack Voigt. Ali Haji Sheik kicked the field goal, 17-13 Yankees.
All right, Butch, thanks so much. Doug Brown and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, where it's been considerably lower scoring than at Yankee Stadium today. Charles Gibson going in to take the spot in left field after pinch running for Glenn Allen Hill in the top of this inning. And Randy Johnson back out for the bottom of the 8th, now with a 5-2 lead. And Vaughn fouls it back. Mo was hit back in the first inning by a Randy Johnson pitch a little too far inside, grazing the uniform, and Randy's gotten him on third strikes the last 2 times, once swinging and once called. Just 2 hits for the Red Sox today.
Miller had a tough time, obviously, scoring runs in Anaheim, only 1 run in each game. Now you run into Randy Johnson on opening day. You only have 2 hits.
Fouled away by Vaughn. Well, ironically, the Red Sox best offensive performance of the season so far was also against Randy Johnson last Sunday.
Well, we're seeing a different Randy Johnson today than we did last Sunday in Seattle. Mike Timlin loosening up in the Mariner bullpen.
Vaughn behind in the count, 1-2. Strikeout number 15 for Randy Johnson. And more of them lately here, Jerry, have been called third strikes.
He's, as I mentioned, Doug, both pitches, his fastball and breaking ball. This will be the fastball. These pitches on down the middle. That's paint on the outside corner for strike 3. As you mentioned, 19 strikeouts, his high. He's done it a couple of times. Has to feel good when you're on target like this.
First pitch to Jim Leyritz just misses. Leyritz also hit by a pitch by Johnson. He's hit 3 today. Leyritz rode home on the 2-run homer by Damon Buford, accounting for the Red Sox only scoring today. Red Sox have had a lot of people on base, even though they've only had the 2 hits. Johnson has walked 3. Missing way inside that time on Leyritz. He's walked 3 and he's hit 3. But the Red Sox haven't been able to come up with a timely hit other than the home run by Buford. Now 3-1 on Leyritz.
They haven't been able to come up with hits, period. Only 2 on the game.
Fouled away by Leyritz, running the count full. Jason Varitek waits for his chance in the on-deck circle. Varitek has struck out twice today. So has Leyritz. Vaughn now 3 times. Lemke's also struck out twice against Johnson. The count on Leyritz. No chance. Up a little bit with the fastball, and Leyritz strikes out for the 3rd time.
Tough afternoon for Leyritz. 3 strikeouts, and of course being hit by Randy Johnson. Again, that fastball up, let a high, and you have absolutely no chance on that pitch. And after a couple of tough outings, Randy Johnson has to be very happy about this one this afternoon.
Johnson trying to win his 2nd consecutive start in the Fenway home opener. He was the winner last year here, 5-3. Later in the season, in June, the Red Sox beat Johnson here at Fenway 4-0 on a shutout by Tim Wakefield. Varitek fouls it off, 1-1.
Johnson trying to put a pretty good cushion between he and Pedro Martinez in that strikeout lead. I mentioned Pedro was leading by 3 coming into the game, but he's got some work to do tomorrow.
Varitek outmatched on that breaking pitch. 1-2 the count. Johnson has been close to invincible over the last nearly 3 years. 2 of his 5 losses coming to the Red Sox. One of them here last summer, the one I just spoke about, the Wakefield shutout, and then the game last Sunday in Seattle. Through his first 2 starts covering 11 2/3 innings, Johnson had given up 17 hits and 12 earned runs, but no sign of any of that here today. The count 2-2 to Varitek. Hit pretty well toward right center field and caught beautifully by Griffey on the backhand. Red Sox bidding for their third hit of the day, but Griffey says no to Varitek. And after 8 full at Fenway, the Mariners have a 5-2 lead on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Want to have some fun? I'm the Mazda protege. Come on, let's go for a drive. Bring all your stuff and all your friends. I got the most room in my class. Bring some tunes. Louder? Great! I'm also a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. So, now that you have nothing to worry about, get ready to have more fun than you paid for. Come on, let's go for a drive.
Choose 2,000 cash back or 2.4% financing on the Mazda Protege LX.
You're an entrepreneur. You're in it for the love. You're in it for the reward. You're in it for the passion. You're in it up to your eyeballs. Fleet's Easy Business Package can help. It offers you better ways to manage your money, keep track of it, and invest it. So while you're making it, we'll help you manage it. Fleet, we're ready when you are.
68 Sports presents Boston Red Sox Baseball. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Something fresh is always brewing here. By Bell Atlantic. 1-800-255-CALL. The one number that does it all. And by New England Ford. See your New England Ford dealer today.
Top of the ninth at Fenway. The Mariners have a 5-2 lead over the Red Sox. Well, Red Sox fans, check out the new 24-hour touch-tone ticketing by calling 617-482-4SOX. This new system's the easiest way to purchase tickets any time of day. Why not use the latest technology to purchase Red Sox tickets at one of America's oldest and most storied ballparks?
5-2 lead for Randy Johnson and the Seattle Mariners heading to the top of the ninth here at Fenway Park. I have a feeling we'll see Johnson out there for the ninth inning at least to try and nail this one down for the complete game. The Red Sox, meanwhile, go to the bullpen again. Their 5th pitcher of the afternoon is Tom Gordon.
Appearance number 5 for Gordon. 0-1. He's got a couple of saves. They have back-to-back saves against Oakland. 4 2/3, a couple of hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Opponents hitting 125 so far this year off Tom Gordon.
And Joey Cora, who's been on base 3 times, takes a called strike from Gordon. Cora on base 3 times, but without a hit. This is going to be a tough play for Garciaparra, though, and no chance. Cora beats it out for the infield hit. Garciaparra did everything he could.
Too far to go for Nomar. He was shading Cora up the middle, and it was a breaking ball also that usually will pull that guy more toward the middle. Has a long way to go, and with the sidearm flip, can't get Joey at first base. Cora not a speed burner, but certainly could beat that play out.
Well, Joey Cora just being a leadoff guy today, Jerry. He's got 1 hit, but he's been on base 4 times. He was hit by a pitch, he walked, reached on an error, and now an infield single. And there he goes. And the throw will be late from Varitek. First steal of the year for Joey Cora.
Yeah, he only had 6 last year, and he was thrown out 7 times, but he stole that one on Tom Gordon. He got an excellent jump. He'll put the head first slide on. Pretty good throw by Varitek, but not in time. Joey Cora, the big 3-run inning in the 6th, he led that off with the walk.
There's Heathcliff Slocum. Well, it would be a save opportunity for Slocum if he comes in. Of course, there's been much consternation in Seattle again here early in the season about the Mariners bullpen. After blowing 27 save chances last year, they've had a couple of blown saves here early this year, including A bad outing, a combined bad outing the other day against New York. This ball's hit well and off the top of the wall in right field by Rodriguez. Cora speeds around to score, and Rodriguez slides in with a triple. And the relay was bobbled from the outfield. If Cora hadn't, rather if Rodriguez hadn't already been into his slide, he might have been able to take a shot at scoring on that play.
Well, if there was 2 outs in the inning, maybe they would have done that. But with nobody out there going to hold him at third base, the fans at Fenway were getting excited because they felt this is a chance to see an inside-the-park home run. Usually when the ball bounces away like this from that right fielder and runs up toward the bullpen area, people start thinking about 3 if that guy can run. Excuse me, about 4, not 3. They're thinking about the inside-the-park home run. He's going to get the 3. Just missed a home run.
Rodriguez with his first triple of the year, his 7th run batted in. And watch out as the bat sails about 8 rows into the stands just this side of the Red Sox dugout. Griffey fouled it off and lost the bat. Well, we're probably going to see a bat trade here. It appears that everybody's okay in there.
That's a heck of a souvenir right there, a Ken Griffey bat. As long as you don't get hurt and you get that souvenir, you've had a heck of a day. I wouldn't make a trade. I'd just take off right now. And I don't think they're even going to try to make a trade for it.
No, it seems not. That lucky gentleman has not only a great souvenir, but a great story to tell. It appears that everybody's okay down there, and Griffey has himself a new bat.
Now, a lot of time a hitter will go over with a batting practice bat and try to make the trade for the game bat, but Griffey didn't even bother with that.
Well, he figured that many rows up. Maybe the guy deserves it. 0-1 the count. And fouled the other way. "11 rows back," that was, if my count is accurate. 0-2 on Griffey. Spoils another one. Rodriguez the runner at third. The Mariners leading 6-2. And Gordon bouncing one in the dirt. Good block by Varitek. Slow start for the Mariners offensively today against Brian Rose. They had just 3 hits in the first 5 innings, but they've got 9 since. Griffey pulling one. That'll be well foul. Gordon will try again on the 1-2 to Griffey. Big curveball boxed around by Varitek. No advance by Rodriguez.
It's one of the few that have gotten by Varitek. He'll have a lot of this to do too when Gordon's pitching. He'll throw that curveball. A lot of times it'll bounce out in front of the plate or just shortly after it gets to home plate. Not going to take any chances with nobody out, getting thrown out at home.
Rodriguez with the lead, and the 2-2 just misses the outside corner.
Well, you make the pitch you want to make in the perfect spot, and you don't get the call. Not too bad right there. From that angle, it always looks like it's outside.
The 3-2. Same spot, maybe a little bit further outside, and it's ball 4 to Griffey. So Tom Gordon, who retired the first 14 batters he faced this season,
Number 11, the designated
then
hitter.
took the loss in relief in Anaheim the other night in the 11th inning, Monday night.
Well, I don't think they're going to allow Gordon to have a long inning here. You know, he's the closer, and obviously another game tomorrow, so he doesn't get some quick outs. He'll probably go to the bullpen again. I think Garces was throwing again for the second time.
Edgar Martinez, who's having himself a heck of a day. 3 for 4, a couple of runs batted in. Takes low. Gordon with the runners at first and third and nobody out. And Vaughn holding Griffey over at first with the right-handed batter up. Martinez takes a strike. Red Sox don't have the infield all the way in, but they're most of the way in. Gordon just missing again off the inside part of the plate. 2-1 to Martinez. Well, you said earlier today, Jerry, you knew Martinez would turn it around eventually. He was 4 for 29 coming into today. 3 hits today. Takes a called strike.
Well, it doesn't have to be a genius to figure out that he's going to turn it around sooner or later, but
all he needed to do was get outside in the cool weather.
I figured that last weekend would be the last time that we would see Martinez in a slump all season long, and he's starting out today with the 3 hits.
A reaching swing and a tap towards center field, and Buford Rodriguez is tagging, and the throw from Buford will be cut off by Vaughn as Rodriguez scores the 7th Mariner run. It's 7-2. And we'll take a pause right here for station identification on the Red Sox television network.
WBNE, New Haven, Hartford, Connecticut's home of Red Sox and Yankee baseball.
Number 21, the first baseman, David Segui.
Three runs batted in for Edgar Martinez, this time on the sac fly, scoring Alex Rodriguez from third. And a 7-2 Seattle lead here at Fenway Park.
Last year, Edgar Martinez, 108 RBIs, and they don't all come on base hits. You know, those good RBI guys, they'll get him with the sacrifice fly any way they can. Seemed to be fooled on that pitch, but he still hit it deep enough to get home another run.
Gordon working to David Segui. Count even at 1-1. Tomorrow afternoon, game 2 of this series, Pedro Martinez works for the Red Sox against the left-hander Jamie Moyer, throwing those changeups for Seattle.
Got that contrast in style. 95-mile-an-hour fastball this afternoon, and then Jamie Moyer tomorrow afternoon with all the off-speed pitches.
And Nomar Garciaparra cannot come up with the ground ball off the bat of Segui. That should be the 3rd error of the day for Boston, and the Mariners have 2 on with 1 out.
Well, we talked earlier about Russ Davis getting off to a tough start at third base defensively with 4 errors, and now Garciaparra in that same category. He's also got 4 now on the season. Backhanded play, didn't make it. This was a pretty good opener up until the 6th inning for the Red Sox, but it has been a downer since then.
Yeah, it has deteriorated the last few innings for Red Sox fans. There's no question about that. Tom Gordon is done for the day, retiring only 1 of the 5 batters he faced, and Rich Garces will come in. The Mariners with a 5-run lead and still 2 runners on after the error by Garciaparra, and we'll be right back on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Terry and I were missing misfits, artists in Eggville.
You'll get to like it.
One woman.
You can be whatever you want to be. I know what you really are.
Two men.
Looking for you. Seems like everybody's looking for me today.
One driven by desire.
So you're his wife, are you?
The other driven to the edge.
Johnny!
Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage, Judge Reinhold, and Erica Anderson in Zandali.
Tonight at 8 on WB 59.
The teacher.
Do you ever think about me?
The student.
I can't stop thinking about you.
The unthinkable act.
Do you know anyone who would kill Greg? I killed him.
The startling true story of Pamela Smart and the sex for murder scandal that shocked a nation.
Her husband was killed last night. I'm a teacher. You're gonna believe me.
Helen Hunt, Chad Allen, and Howard Hessman. Murder in New Hampshire.
Saturday at 8 on WB 59.
Helps preschoolers prepare to succeed one child at a time. Builds confidence, family involvement, and future teachers. Brings together college students and kids to learn and have fun. Getting involved and making a difference. That's what it's all about. To learn how you can become a volunteer for Jumpstart's Kids Fest and other programs, call 432-6763.
A 7-2 Seattle lead here at Fenway Park in the top of the ninth as the Mariners have blown it open here in the late innings.
The left fielder, Charles Gibson.
2 on and still just 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Griffey at second, Segui at first, and Rich Garces now on the mound.
Third game of the year for Garces. All three now have been against the Seattle Mariners. He worked twice in that series last weekend. The last time on the 4th against the Mariners, a couple of innings, 1 hit. Had 4 walks in that outing with 2 strikeouts.
First pitch, a strike to Charles Gibson, getting his first at bat of the day after entering the game as a pinch runner last inning. And up high, a little tight to Gibson. 1-1 the count. Tom Gordon pitched to just 5 batters. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, responsible for 2 other runners, and walked a man. Garces, that low strike zone again for Tim Cheetah. 1-2. And that one bounces in front of Varitek, and it'll be an easy advance for both runners. That ball bounced into the stands.
And of course, because coming from a pitcher, contact with the rubber, that's only going to be 1 base, and both guys will move up 1 base. Looks like it deflected right off maybe the shin guard of Varitek up on the screen. Or in the stands, one of the two. Yeah, all the way in the stands. That one almost as far as Griffey's bat.
2-2 the count, and Gibson held back, says John Shulak. You can see Shulak is fighting the sun now down beyond first base. Full count to Gibson, and that one accidentally fouled away, and it looked like it caught a piece of Varitek as well. So we've seen a bat in the stands, a wild pitch go in the stands. We've seen fan interference, and we've seen another ball go right off the top of the wall in right field for a triple for Alex Rodriguez, which could have been a possible shot at an inside the park home run.
And we see the Red Sox with more errors than hits in this game.
Indeed. Gibson fouls that one away. Well, the Red Sox scored 22 runs in 3 games in Seattle, but they only were able to win 1 of those games because they couldn't get the pitching. But since Seattle They've now had a grand total of 20 hits in the last 4 ball games, scoring just 5 runs. Called third strike on Gibson, who was not happy about it.
It looked like he might have been diving out over the plate, and Garces will buzz him inside with the fastball. Gibson picked up his first major league hit against the Yankees in that last series. He got a base hit off David Wells.
Gibson had a big spring. He hit .455 for the Mariners, including a couple of triples. First pitch, a called strike to Dan Wilson. Wilson had an RBI single to right last time up in the 8th. Quickly down 0-2. If you joined us late, the Red Sox had a 2-0 lead in this ball game into the 6th inning behind Brian Rose, who pitched very, very well. But Rose walked the leadoff man, Cora, to start the 6th. And 3 batters later, Edgar Martinez doubled home the tying runs. Rose was then lifted, and the first batter to face Jim Corsi hit a ground ball to John Valentin at third, and he fired low and wide to first base for the first of his 2 errors on the day. Nomar Garciaparra has picked up an error here in the 9th, and the last 3 innings have not been pretty for the Red Sox. Breaking pitch from Garces, and just off the end of the bat, Wilson gets it to left, but Bragg handles it for the 3rd out of the inning. 2 more runs for the Mariners and a 7-2 Seattle lead, with Heathcliff Slocum coming on to try and save it for Randy Johnson when we come back after this break on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Oh, how happy you have made me. Oh, how happy you have made me. I have thanked my Lord 1,000 times, and more miles than I can count. I have called you mine. Oh, how happy you have made me.
Be happy at your New England Ford dealer.
Check out the easiest way to purchase Red Sox tickets through the new Touchstone ticketing system by dialing 617-482-4SOX. This friendly system provides fans with the fastest, safest, and most convenient way to purchase Red Sox tickets. It gives you access to the game's oldest and most traditional ballpark through cutting-edge technology. Touchstone ticketing is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any Touchstone phone. Credit cards only.
Doug Brown and Jerry Remy at Fenway Park, with the Mariners leading the Red Sox 7-2. And as you can see, the Mariners have gotten it done in the late innings today after they weren't able to do anything offensively against Brian Rose, the Red Sox starter. They have taken advantage of poor Red Sox defense and the bullpen here in the late innings. And now, speaking of the bullpen, Heathcliff Slocum on to try and nail it down for Randy Johnson, although now it is not a save opportunity.
Yeah, 4 appearances now for Slocum as he begins the 9th inning here. We're at the total of 3 innings, allowing 5 hits and 3 earned runs. 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Last time he worked was on the 7th. That was against the Yankees. Worked 1 inning in that ball game.
Troy O'Leary is going to pinch hit for Damon Buford to start this bottom half of the 9th inning, as Edgar Martinez, the hitting star of the day for the Mariners. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. Of course, had the big 1-out double in the 6th inning that scored the first 2 Mariner runs and tied the ball game. So O'Leary, the new dad, as of the last 48 hours or so, takes a strike from Slocum.
Well, I think the fans in Seattle can stop worrying about Randy Johnson after this appearance this afternoon.
And you mentioned the numbers for Slocum, Jerry, his 4th appearance, but still has not had a save chance yet this season.
Well, nobody in the bullpen for Seattle has a save yet.
They've been playing a lot of high-scoring ball games. O'Leary reaches out and taps one to right field for a base hit. The 3rd hit of the day for the Red Sox.
That might have stung a little bit, too, for O'Leary. Cool temperatures, sitting around all day, and it sounded like it was toward the end of the bat.
Now Mark Lemke. Switching to bat left-handed off Slocum. Lemke went 0 for 3 in his tries against Randy Johnson, striking out twice.
Lemke, of course, with an abbreviated spring training, working out for about 10 days, I guess, getting in some minor league games, trying to get as many at bats as possible.
One the count to Mark, and now 1-2. The final line on Randy Johnson, by the way, 8 innings. He allowed 2 hits and 2 runs. Both runs on the home run by Buford. He walked 3, struck out 15, and hit 3 batters. And Slocum now trying to finish it off. 2-2 on Lemke.
Jefferson, Hatterberg, Cummings still on the bench from the left side.
And missing. The count is full. On deck, Darren Bragg. And fouled away by Lemke. Started to talk about this Seattle bullpen a little earlier, Jerry. The last chance they had was Wednesday night against the Yankees. Bobby Ayala allowing a game-winning home run to Chad Curtis, stirring up the conversation again in Seattle about the bullpen problems. And judging by some of the post-game quotes from some of the Mariners, particularly Mike Timlin, the criticism starting to get to them a little bit. The constant worry about the bullpen in Seattle. Lemke fouling another one away.
Well, I think the bullpen are probably happy to get on the road. You know, they had so much trouble last year. They had a difficult start to the season, and the fans in Seattle have really been getting on them. You know, every time somebody comes into the game, they're booing them. So it's good to get away from that environment, hopefully get yourself straightened out and get a little confidence. But it is frustrating for them when they come into a game out there in Seattle because the fans expecting the worst.
Slocum with another 3-2 pitch to Mark Lemke. And missing, low and inside. So for those of this sellout opening day crowd who have remained, hope lives with the first 2 batters on in the bottom of the 9th.
The base hits don't seem to bother a manager, you know, when you have a 5-run lead, but certainly the walks do.
Especially with a 5-run lead.
And you walk into Mark Lemke, who has not much of a chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark. You know, you're just putting on base runners with that 5-run lead, and that's what's frustrating to Lou Piniella. They got to get on, make them hit their way on.
Number 56, the left fielder, Darren Bragg.
So the single by the pinch hitter O'Leary and the walk to Lemke brings up Darren Bragg. Darren is 0 for 2 this afternoon, walked back in the 5th inning. Takes a strike right down the middle.
and really should in this situation. You should make Slocum throw a strike. When you're down by this many runs, you need base runners. He's had trouble with his control at times. He just walked Lemke. Make him throw strikes.
This time missing low and away. And this ball hit sharply down the right field line into the corner. Coming around to score is O'Leary. Over to third is Lemke. And a double for Darren Bragg. It's now 7-3 Seattle.
I don't know how long Lou is going to watch this, but the left hand is coming up. Hatteberg is going to pinch hit. He's got Forces in the bullpen. Bragg got a fastball, pulled it, picks up his first base hit of the afternoon, drives in a run, and that will bring Lou Piniella out of that dugout.
And the fans are not yelling Lou.
Some will lose, some will boo because they want Slocum to stay in.
But it's not going to happen. Slocum works to 3 batters, does not retire anybody. And 40-year-old Tony Fossis will be called out of the Mariner bullpen. We'll take a break from Fenway. The Red Sox trying to mount a stirring comeback in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 7-3 on the 68 Sports Red Sox television network.
Connecting with the wrong internet provider can leave even the most experienced net user frustrated and abandoned. Now there's a better way. BellAtlantic.net, with access to Big Yellow, your Yellow pages on the web, and a helpful staff to guide you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bell Atlantic can open doors to the internet you never knew existed. Wild things are happening. Bell Atlantic. We'll see you there.
This is a sports flash from WB59 Sportsland. Hi, I'm Dot Warner. This year, fans are flipping over WB59's baseball lineup. We go now to Joe Dubba on location. Joe?
That's right, Dot. This season, whether you're a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan, you'll be flipping on WB59 twice as much, because WB59's got double the plays, double the players, double the excitement. WB59, back to you, Dot.
All season long, flip on Yankees and Red Sox. Flip on WB59.
Heathcliff Slocum thinking about it all over in the Seattle dugout. Worked to 3 batters, gave up the leadoff single to the pinch hitter O'Leary, then walked Lemke on a 3-2 pitch, and then the double by Bragg to score a run. And quickly Slocum is out of the ball game. And the new pitcher for the Mariners is the left-hander, the wily veteran, Tony Fossis.
Fossis already working in 4 games against the Red Sox at the Kingdome last week, and got a couple of outs on 2 pitches in one of those ball games. 3 strikeouts, a couple of walks in 2 innings for for Fossis. Benjamin's going to come up and pinch hit for Hatteberg.
Now batting for Hatteberg.
Runners at second and third, nobody out. Red Sox still trailing by 4. Fossis, of course, has been making a career out of retiring left-handed batters, especially here late in his career, the last 5 years or so.
See, if a home run would tie the ball game or win it, I don't think you'd see Hatteberg pinch hit for it here. But the Red Sox still need base runners. They got to get back to the middle part of that lineup. Or I should say the top of the lineup with Garcia, Parra, Valentin, and Vaughn.
Fossis working 1-0 to Benjamin, misses way outside 2-0. Fossis last year stranded 54 of the 60 inherited runners. The best percentage in the major leagues last year, and he's got 2 inherited runners here with nobody out. And 3-0.
Well, the Fenway crowd loves it. Could you imagine the folks at the Kingdome right now?
Can you imagine what he's thinking right now? Benjamin, of course, taking all the way. Well, Randy Johnson already saw what was a 9-3 lead disappear on opening day. The game the Mariners wound up losing. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. So we can only guess what Randy Johnson must be thinking right now. Big pitch here for Fossis. 3-2 to Benjamin. Slap foul. Looked like it was out of the strike zone.
Yeah, it looked like he might have helped him out there. But again, when you got 2 strikes, anything close, you got to be going.
Benjamin standing in with the full count. And again, a pitch that might have been out of the strike zone, but too close to take. Nomar Garciaparra in the top of the order after Benjamin. Lemke, the runner at third. Bragg at second. And the 3-2 pitch to Benjamin again. Missing way outside. And now the tying run will come to the plate. And Lou Piniella practically sprints out of the Seattle dugout to make another pitching change. So Tony Fossis cannot find the plate on the pinch hitter Benjamin. The bases are now loaded, still no one out in the bottom of the 9th. We will be back to Fenway Park with Mike Timlin, the new pitcher for Seattle, after this break on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Only in New York could this happen. Me, Mark, big city guy, falls in love with Lindsay, town and country girl. Lindsay, will you?
Yes!
But Lindsay and I have 2 problems. My family.
I've heard so much about you.
Where's the toilet? And her family.
I understand you're a Jew.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I love families. Just none of the ones I'm related to.
These people are lunatics. I heard that, Weasel.
You're the one. Premieres Sunday, April 19th on WB 59.
Well, you can hardly blame Lou Piniella for pacing a little bit again over in that Seattle dugout. A 5-run lead coming to the bottom of the 9th. The Red Sox have scored 1, and now they have the bases loaded with no one out. And Lou is trying to get something from his bullpen. Tony Fossis walking the pinch hitter Benjamin. And now it's Mike Timlin's turn.
Mike Timlin making his 5th appearance for the Mariners. 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, and 3 earned runs. 4 walks and no strikeouts. He had a pretty good outing against the Red Sox a week ago. No way that Lou Piniella figured he'd have to use 3 pitches before he even has an out here in the 9th inning.
The crowd rising to the occasion again here at Fenway Park with Nomar Garciaparra stepping in. Nomar today is 0 for 2. Struck out in line to first. Then walked and was hit by a pitch, all against Randy Johnson.
Griffey in the outfield going with to tell his other outfielders to get the ball to second base. This is the potential tying run. They want to keep Garcia Parra off second.
And fouling the first pitch away. You saw Nomar's numbers with the bases loaded, 8 for 18.
There's Griffey telling his left fielder Gibson to get that ball to second base. This is the tying run. You know, you think you got the big lead. All of a sudden, the tying's run at the plate, and you got to make sure those outfielders are awake and know where to go with the baseball.
Timlin ready with the 0-1. Missing a little low. Tony Fossas, who gave up that walk to Benjamin, also had some thoughts after that game Wednesday night in New York about the Seattle bullpen and their woes. Accidental check swing foul by Garcia Parra, and now 1-2 the count. Fossas said he thinks all this criticism will help pull the bullpen guys together in the long run. He said after that game Wednesday night against the Yankees that the team should be 8-0 with all the runs they've scored. Mariners averaging almost 8 runs a game coming in, and they've got 7 today. Nomar toward the right center field gap and in for a base hit. And the Red Sox will play 90 feet at a time. 1 run scores as Lemke makes it 7-4 Seattle.
And he still doesn't have an out in the 9th.
Well, if they weren't worried in Seattle by now, Jerry, I guarantee you they are now.
Red Sox very happy to see Randy Johnson out of this game, taking advantage right now of the Seattle bullpen. 2 runs across, 3 from tying the game, and still nobody out.
John Valentin next. He's 1 for 4. Takes a little bit high. Valentin's double was way back in the first inning as he rocked one about halfway up the wall in left center field. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Taking the called strike. Timlin has the count 1-1. Here's Valentin's career information with the bases loaded, including a couple of grand slams. .338, not quite the batting average Nomar has. And another called strike. Of course, John has had a lot more opportunities in his career with the bases loaded. One and 2 the count. And he sawed Valentin off. You saw Wilson leaning inside with the target, and Timlin got it in there.
And Timlin has a good running fastball back inside on those right-handers, and he's going to make Valentin go pick out another bat.
The Red Sox had only 2 hits in this game up till the 9th inning. They've got 3 hits here in the 9th.
Timlin trying to bury Valentin inside. There's the strike call, and then of course on the next pitch it was just about the same pitch that he hit foul.
Valentin getting that new bat prepared. Mo Vaughn waiting on deck. Guarantee you Mo is one of those guys happy to see Randy Johnson out of the game, striking out 3 times today.
Well, he may be facing Spoljarek, who's loosening in the bullpen, another left-hander.
One and 2 the count on Valentin with the bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. The Red Sox trail 7-4. Timlin just missing. Oh. He was hoping for the call, I think, that time. Very close pitch. Timlin with the 2-2, and he hits Valentin. That forces in another run. It's now 7-5. And the tying run is at second base. Still nobody out. Here comes Lou again.
This really is unbelievable here this afternoon. A hit batter with the bases loaded. Tried to go inside again with the fastball. Looked like it got Valentin right off the elbow. And this is now a 2-run ball game. Lou is going to his 4th pitcher of the inning.
Which means what? It'll be our 3rd break of the inning, right?
Sponsors love it.
7-5 Mariners. The Red Sox, still with the bases loaded and nobody out, have the tying run at second now. Lou Piniella looking for some outs here at Fenway. We'll be back on the 68 Sports Red Sox Television Network.
Since the dawn of time, there has been the eternal question: how low can you go? Even after inventing the wheel and tires to go with wheels, the question remained: how low can you go? To set history straight, nobody will go lower on prices for brand name tires than NTB. Nobody. So give us a call. NTB, National Tire and Battery. We're everything you want, nothing like you'd expect.
The Boston Red Sox look to show the American League they mean business. With newly acquired Pedro Martinez, Dennis Eckersley, Darren Lewis, and Jim Leyritz, along with a solid core of returning players, including AL Rookie of the Year Nomar Garcia-Parra, there is great excitement about this team for 1998. Come be a part of the 1998 excitement. For tickets, call the Sox ticket office at 617-267-1700. For groups of 40 or more, call 617-262-1915.
Well, we mentioned that since the 6th inning, it hadn't been very pretty for the Red Sox, but don't talk about ugly to Lou Piniella right now, after watching what he's watched here in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, he's watched this over and over. Last season, again, the start of this season. Actually, Spoljaric has been the best pitcher for Lou out of the bullpen so far this year. 5 games so far, 6 innings, a couple of hits, 3 walks in the 8 strikeouts. And for the Seattle Mariners, the same old story. Lou actually has been pretty composed over there, considering he does not have an out yet, but Lou could snap at any time.
The Mariners bullpen blew 27 saves a year ago. And they also allowed the most 9th inning runs in Major League history for a season. Mo Vaughn taking a strike on the outside slice. Mo with the bases loaded. Just 304, but 6 grannies in his career. And this ball is hit well down the right field line. It's out of here. The Red Sox win it. Mo Vaughn's 7th career grand slam. And the Red Sox win it 9-7, scoring 7 runs on 7 batters in the bottom of the 9th.
Doug, that's one of the strangest games I think you'll ever see. It was Red Sox in the beginning, then it was all Randy Johnson. Red Sox looked to be dead in this game as they played poorly in the second half, and the Mariners could not get an out with a 5-run lead going into the 9th inning.
I feel bad for the people who left, don't you? Let's send it downstairs to John Holt, who has a very special guest standing by.
Well, Doug, what a fabulous finish. Mo Vaughn, you could not have written a better script for opening day.
Well, you know, it's a tough night out there facing Randy Johnson. And we battle back. This team is like that, you know. We're going to go out here. We're going to battle you all 9 innings. Guys got on base. He has some good at-bats. We gave him an opportunity. You know, to come through like that is a great thing. That's what I'm here for, and try to get the big hit it worked out tonight.
How about the way the crowd has responded to you today? You had some ups and downs in the offseason. They have welcomed you back with open arms.
Well, I appreciate that. Definitely, it's been a tough offseason. I just tried to stay focused, you know, and do what I had to do. I'm glad it's over. And the main thing is to go out here between the lines and do what you got to do, you know, and try to help the ball close. So we put all that stuff behind us and just go out there and try to win.
Mo, congratulations. Go see your fans.
All right, thank you very much.
All righty, Doug, up back to you.
Mo Vaughn ends this ball game at Fenway Park in improbable fashion. The 3rd home run of the season for Vaughn. He now has 12 runs batted in. And Jerry, that was his first hit of the day after being hit by a pitch and then striking out 3 times against Randy Johnson.
Well, memory of the day, you say against Johnson, you hope to strike once. Well, he didn't strike once today against Randy, but he did strike the big one here in the 9th inning. And what a story for Mo Vaughn. Everybody wondering how he was going to be accepted by the fans. Well, if there's some people that had doubts, this will change their mind. It always does, a home run.
7 runs. The Red Sox never made an out. In the bottom of the 9th inning, they sent 7 men to the plate, and they all scored against 4 different Mariner pitchers. There are the totals. 9 runs on just 6 hits. 3 errors for the Red Sox. 7-12-0 for the Mariners. Seattle left 7 runners on base, as did the Red Sox. Left 6 men on base in this ball game. Seattle leaving 7. Rich Garces, who got the last out, the last 2 outs actually, in the top of the 9th, gets the win in relief. And Mike Timlin, who put both of the batters he faced on base, Garciaparra's single and then hitting Valentin just prior to the home run by Vaughn, takes the loss. So the conversation in Seattle, certainly, Jerry, is going to center again on this Mariner bullpen, and just 2 devastating losses in a row now for this bullpen, and none worse than this one today.
Well, we mentioned earlier that maybe it'd be good for them to get out of town and get some confidence. Well, it's not going to happen in this game this afternoon. A terrific comeback win for the Red Sox. A great way to open up the season here at Fenway. For a while, it didn't look like it was going to happen.
And a final reminder that for each Red Sox home run on a TV 68 telecast this season, Dunkin' Donuts will make a contribution to the Jimmy Fund. The Red Sox hope you'll help too. And certainly Dunkin' Donuts will be more than happy to make the contribution for that game-winning walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th for Mo Vaughn. The final score on opening day, once again, the Red Sox with 7 in the 9th to beat the Mariners 9-7. Our next telecast will be tomorrow afternoon as Pedro Martinez makes his Fenway debut. Tune in beginning at 12:30 for Red Sox On Deck, hosted by Butch Stearns, followed by Red Sox Baseball here at Fenway. This has been a 68 Sports presentation on the Boston Red Sox Television Network.